Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancha. Today is Friday, April 17th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sorry, I was gone yesterday, a little busy, but we're back today. We got some drafts to do, and we're doing at least three. I'll let you know that right now. We're doing at least three. Maybe we do a fourth. Who knows? We'll need. Uh, Probably not going to do a fourth. We'll do three. We'll do three today. And yeah, let's get it going. No time to waste. Vámonos, muchachos. Let us begin. All right, getting it started. Little morning bake sesh. We got Pepper Tony in here first and Fimst. He liked it first, but has no fucking patience. You can't wait one goddamn minute, Pepper Tony. One fucking minute. Just 1 minute so I can get everything in order. And we have a smooth stream. One fucking minute. But thank you coming in. Thank you, Fancy Dog. Thank you as well. Hurtin' Day just got out of surgery. Yo, prayers for Fancy Dog. Glad you made it out successfully. Have a good recovery, and I hope we can give you some good vibes in your recovery. But what's up, Chris, the Candyman Fantasy Football Garage? If you have not done so already, subscribe to Fantasy Football Garage. We had some dope collabs, maybe on the replay. If there's nothing else to whet your appetite, maybe check out the live stream we did with Fantasy Football Garage about a month ago on his channel, as well as on my channel. That was maybe like three weeks ago. But thank you for hopping in. If anyone would like, we're just going to join right now. The UDFA 3 has launched, 20% full. Same terrible payout structure as previously. If you don't finish top 5, you ain't making $1,000. So don't have the highest hopes, but the advance rates are good. So odds are you can make the final with the relative amount of success. 4 out of 12 advance, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5. But literally only the top 10 make like legitimate return on their investment. So let's risk it for the biscuit. Let's try and have a good team. We're hopping in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 11 spots. So hopefully you didn't hit the button before I did. That'd be a bummer. But we are waiting for 9. So I think you can make it in. And while we're waiting, just a quick reminder about our channel's sponsor. We are an Underdog partner, and that means if you are interested, if you want to sign up for Underdog, you can get $50 in bonus funds on sign up. New customers have to play their first $5. But as long as you use code BLUNT, the link is in the description. Promo code BLUNT gets you $50 in bonus entries. Terms apply. You have to be an adult, only 18 years or older. And in some areas, you got to be 21. And then there are also some states where Underdog is just simply not available. So terms do apply, but new customers, promo code BLUNT, get that $50 in bonus funds. There's also a 50% first-time deposit match. So first time you sign up, drop $100, you'll get $50 instantly. And then you enter 3 UDFAs, you play your first $5, $6, and you'll get an extra $50 on top of that. So promo code BLUNT, last time I'll mention it in the description, you'll find the link to sign up. But now that that's out of the way, let's get the music rolling. We're still waiting on 5 people, so this thing should fill relatively soon, but let's bring in the music and let's have a good time. Let's try and have a good Friday stream with some positive momentum. I want to shout out Fanspeak Network. They might still be live at this very moment, but they cracked 1,000 subscribers last night. Congrats to Steve and Meg Shoup of Fanspeak Network. Congratulations, definitely deserve it. And 1K is a good milestone. You want to get in before the 1K. That's where you know you really know ball. But still, congrats to them. Very, very proud of that accomplishment. So congrats over there. Hopefully we can have a collab with them very soon. We've definitely spoken about it briefly, but I got to be in touch with them, and I'm sure it'll happen for sure. But yeah, congrats to Fanspeak Network. Just want to shout them out real quick. But a reminder, if you want to hop in, we're still waiting on 5, filling a little bit slowly, but I'm sure it'll be all set. In the meantime, if there's any topics you would like to speak about in the meantime, always feel free to ask me a question. And One thing I noticed on my personal ranks that I did a few weeks ago, it looks like I just ignored CeeDee Lamb entirely. Like Lamb is actually not in my rankings. So I've been fixing that mentally. I always go back to the ADP pretty soon once I see that like my rankings are in the preference there. But I wasn't really paying attention when I did it. And definitely a faux pas. Lamb is not mentioned. But we get pick 4. Thank God. It's been a minute since I've gotten a high pick, especially on the live stream. But CeeDee Lamb is definitely a first rounder. All right. Pick 4. Probably going to get Puka. Seems like pretty locked in at this moment. The people are overwhelmingly taking Jamar Chase over Puka Nacua. But Best Ball Berserker, Legend of Zelda, is pick 8. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I see Mill Ticket in here. Not totally sure if they're watching or if it's just a coincidence. But I've definitely drafted with Mill Ticket before at pick 10. And then Sanka pulled the 101. Sanka knows what he's doing. Sanka don't got a badge, but Sanka's getting it done. But Pepper Tony says, CD over Jefferson comfortably by a lot. Quarterback play is legit. Wide receiver 2, a little bit more legit than Jefferson's competition. But as long as Lamb doesn't get hurt, he should probably still get 10-plus targets. Lamb is still a very safe pick. And as expected, we're just going to take Puka, not get too crazy with it. This is where I think you can pivot in a big way. But in all honesty, I haven't gotten pick 4 very often. I don't have many Puka Nacua teams in the first place. So let's get our exposure now while we can. And I've been drafting a lot of similar teams. Honestly, my strategy in these UDFAs, because of the payout structure and like the high advance rates where you can kind of get by while making a couple mistakes, I have been really locking into my guys later in the draft, especially starting like round 8, round 9 with like Rico Dowdle. I've been taking a shit ton of Rico Dowdle. And then names that I just really like the rest of the draft, I am kind of locking in a little bit early more often than not. So I've been having a lot of similar depth on my rosters in this tournament. I feel like there are clicks that are just simply correct to be making, and like whether they might not be like perfect, they are like bust proof picks, and with still a lot of variables left, I'm leaning into those preferences a lot more as the draft goes down. So where my teams are overlapping are in the later rounds. I need variance in the earlier rounds so that I have different rosters despite having a lot of overlap on different teams. That's one way to approach best ball that I think is a little bit tougher to succeed with in the like wider field tournaments when you really have to thread the needle a little bit more. Like a 2 of 12, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 advanced structure, that's twice as difficult as this one. That maybe you don't want to do as much. But here we are at pick 20. Top of ADP says Trey McBride, but I have kind of just been locking in a shit ton of Derrick Henry these days. So I don't want to fall behind at running back. Don't want too many like super high investments on tight end early. You can really punt tight end and make it work in a 20 round draft. So I am not going to take Trey McBride. I even think Bowers is more valuable, and I've seen Bowers make it back at pick 28 on occasion. There he is at 24, so we're not getting an elite tight end, and I'm fine with that. Not going to be upset at all. Excuse me. Coming back around though. Would love Nico Collins on this team. Probably not going to get him, but that would feel awesome. Sweet. We get Nico Collins. Hell yeah. Nico is one of the few receivers in the third round I think could easily be going like mid-second, if not for the crazy prices on running back this year. And I'm not convinced that Nico isn't more valuable than Drake London. Maybe even Malik Neighbors. That might be pushing it. as long as Neighbors stays healthy, I'd much rather have Neighbors. But Nico and A.J. Brown in the third feel like absolute smashes to me. If A.J. Brown doesn't get traded, then maybe I might pull back on that a little bit. But Nico feels great. Pickens feels fine. Pickens probably going to trickle down over the course of the summer. Given his contract situation, I imagine, as always, Jerry Jones going to drag that out. And just by the nature of the field getting timid about it, Pickens will probably going to fall. Rice, I'm still not over the moon on. He's probably fair in the third, but just not a player I like to root for, not a team I like to root for. And I'd rather go Kenneth Walker. Give me the Chiefs running back over the Chiefs wide receiver 1. I'd also like to see what the Chiefs do in the draft, because I don't think it's impossible for them to draft like a Cardinal Tate in the first round. I really don't. So the Chiefs are interesting, and the price on Rashi, if it burns me, it is what it is. It is what it is. But BestBall Berserker does have an amazing username. Legend of Zelda. You got to give him the props. Very, very impressive. Also has a Labrador as his logo dog. I'm also a Labrador, so smart animal. Used to have some Labradors, and they are really, really smart. Pepper Tony says, CD has better quarterback, better offense, more volume, and has shown higher fantasy ceiling than JJ getting name value ADP bump. The history of Justin Jefferson is why he's going in the first round. But fair points, valid arguments. Last year, though, George Pickens did outscore CeeDee Lamb. That's the only thing in the back of my mind to maybe push back on you. But I don't think that's the end of the world. I don't think I want to overreact to that. But Evans goes after DJ Moore. We do have Ladd on the thumbnail. Maybe I should just take Ladd at pick 45. But, nah. I'm going to go Travion Henderson. I have a shit ton of Chargers teams. And I think I've taken Ladd more often in the fourth than I actually have taken Travion Henderson. So, going to do that. That was kind of always the plan. But Ladidi did fall. So, Team 3 gets a good value on Ladidi McConkey. But as the most valuable Chargers pass catcher, I do kind of feel like that offense is a little bit more spread out than we give it credit for, and I could see Ladd's value still being overpriced. I feel like he's a bit more of a 5th round pick than a 4th round pick, in all honesty. He's still super valuable. I want shares of Ladd McConkey. I want Chargers on my teams, so that's where I'm not going to overrule him too often, but damn, the correct pick is typically Lamar, but I have a shit ton of Lamar. I've been going ham with Lamar. Meanwhile, I always get sniped on David Montgomery. I have so few shares of David Montgomery since he has moved up to the 5th round. And this is a different contest than the big board, so I don't have to worry about all my round 10 David Montgomery teams. But literally, I've been trying to get more of him lately, and I have been getting sniped so many fucking times. Whether I'm drafting early, I get sniped at like pick 49, pick 50, or I'm drafting late and he's like falling, he goes like one spot ahead of me so fucking often. So, gonna mix it up today, going a little bit heavy on running back early, but we have Puka and Nico. The receiver room is pretty solid up to this point. And running backs Derrick Henry, Travion, and Dave Montgomery feel pretty good. But Pepper Tony says, going to be one of my stanzas here. I assume you're talking about CD. That's what the conversation was. ETN feels like a rug pull. He ran super hot on receiving touchdowns last year. He, I think, is still an appropriately valued 3rd round pick. There's not many running backs going after him that I can argue will be better and get more touches in a valuable offense. I'm a believer in the Saints offense, like the money they gave him, like the situation, like Kellen Moore. Their offensive line's pretty good. And he's also capable of giving you like that 35-point week. He can break fantasy football. He can be the RB1 on a specific game. Will he finish top 5? No. But I think he's talented enough to be worth going where he is. I don't think he's that much different than Josh Jacobs. and he goes, at least in this lobby, almost 10 spots behind Josh Jacobs. But Pepper Tony saying Lamb was injured last year. That's also very valid. But it's also true that Pickens outscored him. Both are true. Both are true. QJ stonks, though. That is something to keep in mind. Today, the Chargers have refuted the claims that QJ is on the trade block. They are not moving off of Quentin Johnston. I could go Burrow just to be spiteful, but I think we're going to give the Chase team Joe Burrow. I'll take Drake May, and he is paired up with Travion Henderson. At the very least, we do have a little stack with Travion, but quarterback in round 6 feels a lot better than wide receiver, especially late round 6. And it does at least correlate with my roster. I have Drake May, Travion Henderson, and some good back stacks available for Drake May. Plenty of opportunities to stack up Patriots moving forward. But maybe we needed A.J. Brown for the stack. I still believe that's going to happen, but I don't want every single team I have Drake May on to also have A.J. Brown. I think that's a little overkill. No need to go that insane with those combos. But Travion, Drake May, also valid. And a little sneaky with the running back stack. Not as many people stack up RB as they should. But Travion can catch like 8 receptions in a game. He can also give you a house call. If he gives you a 60-yard receiving touchdown, that's going to be a nice pairing when it happens. But I think I should be going back to wide receiver here. Our running back room is pretty solid. Damn, none of them are that exciting though. Honestly, I think Addison is the best play. I have a shit ton of Jordan Addison at the moment, but like he's steadily risen into the 7th round. He's officially pick 83 on the ADP, so that puts him in round 7. He's not making it back, so we'll take a player that will not make it to 93 that I think has the highest upside. I like Addison a lot. For spike week potential, I think if everything gets back to normal for Addison and he realizes his true potential, he's going to score 10 touchdowns next year. Addison is a very reliable touchdown scorer. And last year, I'm willing to kind of write off because of the quarterback situation. J.J. McCarthy, he only played 14 games. He was suspended as well. So practice reps kind of fell off. He only had 610 yards and 3 touchdowns. But in year 1, he had 911 yards, 10 touchdowns. And then 2 years ago, at the age of 22, he had 875 yards, 9 touchdowns in the passing game. Also had a rushing touchdown, so another season with 10 total touchdowns. Addison is a true weapon. So let's bet on Kyler, another quarterback option. And he has some like massive ceiling games, like 123 yards and 2 touchdowns in week 7 his rookie year. That's awesome. I believe Jefferson might have been out at that time, but did it basically again in week 15. 6 for 111, 2 scores. Really elite upside when it matters most. And then 2 years ago had 162 and a touchdown, like truly elite ceiling. Against the Falcons, week 14, 2024, he had 12 targets, 8 catches, 133 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This is a player that can give you 30 points when it matters most. So for best ball, give me someone like that. I want Addison a lot, wherever I can get him. I'm not as high on Cortland Sutton. I think Michael Wilson, a little bit of a flash in the pan, hard to really trust. I feel like all of the Arizona Cardinals can fall in ADP, and it would be appropriate. I know Fantasy Garage loves Michael Wilson, but I prefer Addison, in all honesty. Metcalf is fine, but I think he should be going closer to Michael Pittman. And at the moment, there's like a 2-round gap between them, sometimes more. I'll have a lot more Michael Pittman at a cheaper price. Metcalf, a little overrated, but also capable of giving you 30 points in a given week. But we circle back, and my boy Rico Dowdle is still there. Tough to pass on him. We have Romeo Doubs also as a stacking partner with Drake May, but I just can't do it. He's my boy. He's my boy for a reason. I still think we have a pretty solid tier of wide receiver in this range. Meanwhile, running back is about to fall off a cliff. There are a couple good players in the coming rounds I do like, but not as much as Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle, I think, is the next running back in terms of value once RJ Harvey comes off the board. I think Rico can literally go two rounds higher, and it's not egregious at all. So, like I told you, I kind of make some stands in the later rounds, and I kind of start that in rounds 7 and 8 with a shit ton of Addison in this contest and a shit ton of Rico Dowdle in round 8. But Bukowski's in here. What's up, my man? Glad you caught this stream as well. Thank you for hopping in, and hopefully we are landing the plane in your honor. Hopefully I'm delivering. So far the team's pretty good. It's strong at running back. Never a bad position to be in this early in the draft. Fading running back as we pass pick 100 is never egregious. But Michael Pittman's still here. We also see Quentin Johnston available. Both really interesting. And if you're telling me QJ is not indeed traded, he's much more tempting. But I do have a shit ton of QJ. I have less Michael Pittman. I'll go Michael Pittman. We mentioned 2 rounds cheaper than DK Metcalf. I think it's a pretty good price. And now we went with double Pittsburgh. We can definitely set up an Aaron Rodgers combo later on. We go Quentin Johnston. He cannot pair up with Herbert, who's already taken. So a little bit of a plan ahead with this Pittman selection, but I'm not quite convinced that Pittman versus Quentin Johnston should be Michael Pittman. QJ, especially in best ball, is still really valuable. I think it's easy to shit on him, but if Mason Dodd was streaming, I don't think the Quentin Johnston fall would be as dramatic as it was. He used to go like high round 7, and now I've seen him fall to the 10th. Here he goes at 103 in the 9th, and I know the Fantasy Flock has been a huge believer in the Big Q for quite some time, and I'm not going to be surprised at all when he gets back on YouTube on his main channel and drafting every day if Quentin Johnston is again one of his most drafted players. Quentin Johnston, very underrated. Everyone remembers the low light reel of him dropping passes, but he's also caught 8 touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. And that's a big reason I like Jordan Addison. Maybe I should like Quentin Johnston just as much, but at least on this team, I'll go double Steeler. Good price on Pittman as well. And I think they're both just good values here. Like, I love the receiver values in this 8-9 turn. Like, all the receivers that just went off since my Rico Dowdle pick. We got Romeo Doubs, I think a very, very safe pick right now. Jaden Reed, potentially a league winner at this moment. Wan'Dale Robinson, one of the safest floors in terms of volume, back-to-back years with 140 targets, reuniting with Brian Daboll. I don't think it's going to change. Pittman, probably more valuable than DK Metcalf, at least very close. I think they're going to have very similar stat lines. I think even Quentin Johnston, Casey Concepcion, Worthy just went to the Mahomes drafter in the 10th. That's a pretty good value. And then the Jordan Love drafter just got Matthew Golden. He could also be a league winner. One of those Packers is going to be a league winner. I really feel confident in that statement. One of the Packers. At the moment, it might be the cheapest one, but wow, Sam Laporta circles back. Don't have to ask me twice. I'll take Laporta at 117. Damn, the Goff drafter. Oh, okay, this team went Goff over Laporta in the 10th, but then the team at 6 went Kittle over Laporta. The fuck? I can kind of understand Gadsden over Laporta. The team had Herbert, I guess, but like, holy shit. The Amon-Ra team got Kyler and Jared Goff. Passed on Laporta twice. And then the team with Gibbs and JMO passed on a Laporta Goff stack to go Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. But holy shit, if y'all are gonna keep letting Laporta fall. I'll scoop him up all day. I have a shit ton of Laporta. He's slowly becoming my #1 most drafted. It's him and Dallas Goedert that I've been going crazy with last week or so. In these UDFA contests, these are like by far the 2 tight ends I want the most. So to get him to circle back again, I almost took him at 100, but 117, fuck yeah. I should probably get back in at quarterback soon, but the cliff kind of hit me already. So at this point in time, I'm just going to try and take the best value. If Downs is here, I'll go Josh Downs over Jalen Coker. I have a lot more Jalen Coker, but Downs can also give you a good 17-pointer every now and then. I think his volume definitely going to go up with Pittman leaving. And I do kind of feel like they're going to be drafting someone, but I like his role in that offense. And I've been getting a bit more optimistic about Daniel Jones' health in recent history. So I'll take Josh Downs at a nice little fall, nice little discount. Good volume, good floor play. Addison, a bit more of a spike week guy. We have elite wide receivers up top, so it's not like a weakness. But just keeping a balanced roster, a 1-4-5-1, and I might regret passing on quarterback for such a long time. But at least we have Drake May. Having Drake May keeps me confident I'm getting a top 5 producer most weeks, and he can drop 30+ points. I don't think their schedule's going to be as easy this year, but if anything, that means they're in some more shootout potentially. And maybe Drake May is trailing more often and has to scramble and run the ball a little bit extra. I think last year his rushing stats were down because they had such easy competition and they were never like desperate. But I think when he gets desperate, he'll start to run a little bit extra. His playoff stats really relied on his rushing ability. And although I'm a little thin in the UDFA, I'm not going to panic. It's just a position I got to get back in on relatively soon. But I'm not the only team with 1 quarterback. There's also the team with Josh Allen sitting at 1 QB, but everybody else has 2. So I might have the weakest quarterback room in this lobby so far. And I still think I'm all right. I don't think it's the end of the world. Really don't. But Marcus misses the Omar Cooper Jr. in the 14th round. Oh, man, that was nice. That was nice. I remember Omar Cooper Jr. at pick 215. I remember him in the 18th, 19th round. Like, I wish those days were still here. But here he goes at the 11-12 turn. Those days are long gone. Wow, Coker fell to 133. That's a really nice price on Jalen Coker to the team at 12. But Daniel Jones does get sniped. One of the few stacking partners I had left. So in that case, maybe I should have gone. I do not have Wandale. He was sniped. But I'm going to take him here just because I'm running out of options. And I know the Wandale drafters behind me. They took him at 99. Bradford has Burrow and Stroud. He sniped me on Stroud. I'm going to snipe him on Cam Ward. And fuck you too, buddy. Fuck you too. I gifted you Burrow. You didn't let me have Stroud. I'm not going to let you have Cam Ward. Have your unstacked CJ Stroud. Your worthless unstacked CJ Stroud. Stroud above ADP, I think is wrong. I am not someone that likes to reach on Stroud. I would have liked to take him here at 141. I would have liked to take him had he fallen to me with Nico, but I never like reaching on CJ Stroud. I'm not a believer in Stroud and his fantasy potential. It's been a minute since he has delivered. But we're back on the clock. Running backs, not that inspiring. I'm going to go Hunter Henry for the stacking partner. We have Laporta, but we need some stacks with Drake May. And I just have to start piling on a few more Patriots. Juwan Johnson might be more valuable, but Hunter Henry I think has more spike week potential. A little bit inconsistent from week to week, but has been really putting forth good numbers year over year. Played with Antonio Gates, and they got rid of Austin Hooper. They trust him in the building. He's one of the most reliable connections that Drake May has to offer, especially in the red zone. Hunter Henry is valuable, and I think he's one of the gems in the ADP this late. I think round 13 is one of the sweet spots for tight end, if not that 11-12 turn. Rounds 11 through 14, I think, are the best spots to be taking tight end, and they're all really going to deliver. The order is probably incorrect, but they all have like very similar paths to producing. And although they're going to be filtering in and out of your lineup week to week, they'll probably finish with relatively similar stats. But one guy I think could dominate in the touchdown department, or at least be one of the higher touchdown makers in this tier of tight ends. I do think Hunter Henry is among those names. I like Henry a lot. So especially stacking him up and getting ahead of a snipe, we will take him with some confidence. But give me 1 second. I'm just responding to a text message. All right. Man, Mike Washington falling back. I mean, Cowboys should probably scoop him up. This is a good price on Mike Washington. It's been a minute since Big Mike has been 165. I'll do that. I feel pretty good about my running back room so far. This is a major discount. Almost. It's 3 rounds. It's 36 picks. Yeah, literally 3-round drop on Mike Washington Jr. Damn, it's been a minute since he's gone this late. I'll take that. I missed out on Mike Washington when he was at the pick 200. I'll take him at 165. His ADP is 139. Oh, I guess it's 29 picks. 139, 26 picks. Okay, 26. My math was off there. Apologies. My math was off. But still, a full 2-round discount. I almost took him instead of Hunter Henry. I'll take Mike Washington. Sure. But thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. Speaking of which, it's probably time for a smoke break. After this next pick, we'll take another smoke break. But Marcus says, definitely the team you'll need week 17, the Steelers. Win 9-13 in a barn burner in the snow. Yeah, 100%, right? Yeah, they're going to be worthless. Scoring 13 points with 2 field goals and only 1 touchdown. 100%. I love your conviction. I think I'm going to go crazy here and pull someone up, but nah, I'm not going to go too overboard. I'll go Kayshon Boutte. We'll get back in at receiver, or wide receiver 6. Receivers loaded up top, but then the middle depth is just a little bit lacking. This could still be like a 9 receiver build, honestly. Wouldn't be egregious. But we'll go Kayshon Boutte. Pair him up with Drake May. At the moment, he's a Patriot. Might be on the trade block, but at the moment, worth the bet. Not convinced he'll be there at 189, so I'll take him here at 172. But if you would like to join me, I'm going to take a quick rip from the pipe. See you on the other side in about 8 seconds. But what's up, Danimal? How you doing? Hope you're having a good Friday. Hope your weekend is set for some fun. Tomorrow I got a beach day planned. That's going to be nice. Finally warm enough for the beach. But Dallas Goedert does good every year, and he still has a cheap ADP. The only problem with Goddard that I can really point to as why he would burn you is his injury potential. He has missed multiple games year over year, time after time. Sometimes he does miss a lot of time. But I think he has a 1-year contract. Last year he played through any minor injuries. We'll take a look at Goddard really fast. Okay, so rookie year had 16 games, 15, 11, 15, 12, 14. 2 years ago, only 10 games, and then last year played 15. So he will miss some time. Goddard is relatively injury prone. Not going to sugarcoat it. But when he's on the field, he has massive spike week potential and should be a pretty valuable option. But You know who I wish I'd been taking more of? Damn, Rodgers got fucking sniped. I knew I should have taken Rodgers. I'm going to go Nick Singleton and call it done at running back. Nick Singleton got injured at the Senior Bowl, but very talented player, and he just started running again. Damn it, Gunnar Helm went? Fuck. The Stroud sniper heard me say fuck you. That's probably what happened. Wants to say fuck you in return. But yeah, I will take this as well. Goddard is one of my most drafted players, but like I'm trying to find holes in the argument. I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit, because people don't respect his ADP. Shows that he's not respected. His ADP should be higher, but there's not many flaws. Not many flaws, other than injury. Fuck. You know what? You want to snipe me on Rodgers? I'm sniping you on Pat Freiermuth. You don't need him. You have 3 tight ends already, but I'm sniping you on Freiermuth. We're getting angry in this one. Damn it. I wanted Rodgers. I came so close to taking Rodgers at 172, and I kind of felt that I should have probably just done it. But, yeah, Cowboys 12 doesn't want me to have nice things, but makes, honestly, the correct pick. Like, Rodgers is just the last quarterback you can trust, and maybe he retires, but I think that chance is just so slim. He's going to wait for the schedule to be released before he signs his contract. He does not want to practice early on. He does not want the narrative. He does not want to be in the media talks every day. And by delaying everything, it saves him a big hassle. I think it's just part of their unspoken deal in Pittsburgh. He's coming back, but he just doesn't want to deal with the football aspect of it at this point of his career. And he doesn't need to. Ultimately, he really doesn't need to. So he'll be fine. I trust Rodgers, but damn it. Wanted him at 189. He goes 188. Bummer. But Jonathan, what's up, my man? Yo, how you doing? Says Katron is my guy. Katron's pretty solid. I think Katron goes at a good value. I have a lot more Katron than Singleton. I'll tell you that. And I've been worried about Singleton because of his foot injury. And now that he's back running, shit, I think I need to get back in on Singleton at a high rate. I think Singleton is actually really, really talented. This is kind of awkward. Quarterback room fairly weak on this team. Let's not sugarcoat it. Needed Rodgers kind of desperately. Pushed it and didn't get him by one click, but this might be a 4 quarterback room. This might be. Jeremy goes, so don't have a tough decision. We could go Katron for Jonathan. We could. However, I think I'm taking 4 QBs. And we'll take Kirk Cousins as one of them. We're going to trust that Puka and Nico are really, really going to deliver most of the time. So get a little thin there. I'm not going to say this team is not that inspiring. I don't love this team very much. At some point in time, I think I made a mistake. Overall, I think I faded quarterback just a little too much. And despite the really good fall on Mike Washington, I probably should have just taken Rodgers with one of those two running back clicks. I think should have been Rodgers. Or we should have gotten in earlier. Something happened in this one that I think I did wrong. So after this click, we'll revisit it, try and figure out. But I think it's probably Kayshon Boutte over Rodgers. I think that's ultimately the mistake. I'm gonna take Ty Simpson. I've never clicked Ty Simpson. Getting some buzz, looking more like a first rounder, more likely than not. And if that's gonna be the case, he'll probably be on the field at the end of the year. So I'll take Ty Simpson. Quarterback room, A little shaky, but maybe it works out. But yeah, I think the incorrect decision was taking Kayshon Boutte instead of Aaron Rodgers. This team would be fine with Aaron Rodgers, and I would probably have gone double whiteout with those last 2 picks and have a pretty solid room. Yeah, Boutte I don't think is really helping me here. I think that was the big mistake. Round 15, actually a critical choice. Rodgers versus Boutte, and I fucked up. Because we had Rico, we had Pittman. It was kind of more important to get the Rodgers combo. Yeah, that was definitely where I fucked up. But Peter says the other hole for Goddard is that AJ Brown does not get traded, but I think that's almost a lock. Yeah, but even if that doesn't happen, like last year for Goddard was amazing. At 11 touchdowns, 591 yards on 60 catches. The touchdowns is like what's so critical though. Like he's never had a season with that many touchdowns, not even close. 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2. And then last year, an explosion with 11. Will it repeat? He was in a contract season. Meanwhile, Hunter Henry had very, like, yards-wise, was much better than Dallas Goedert. 768, 7 touchdowns. 2 years ago, he had 6 touchdowns. 2 years before that, also in New England, he had 9. Hunter Henry's pretty valuable. We're back on the clock. I need a receiver desperately. We're going to go Kyle Williams. Nice. And this is round 20, so this is my final click. Yikes. The receiver room. Yep. One big mistake, and it was taking Kayshon Boutte over Aaron Rodgers. All right. We learn. We live and we learn. Because then I would have had Surratt, another receiver, and Kyle Williams as opposed to just Kayshon Boutte. Yep. Big lesson learned right there. Now I wish I took Quentin Johnston. Now I think I fucked up with my Michael Pittman selection. Damn it. All right. It's only $2. It is what it is, but something for the blunted? Sure, my man. Let's take a rip. Let's clear the pipe as well. I don't have much left in this pipe, so let's clear it, and then we'll draft the second one after just some quick team reviews. We had Sanka in here. We had Legend of Zelda in here, and I think that's it. All right. So, Legend of Zelda, let's see how his team is. He went, I'll go full roster. Position by position. He has Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, and Tua. Not as reliant on Tua as I am on my third quarterback, so that's pretty solid, but interesting. CMC, Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, JCM, Emmett Johnson, so a little thin, trusting CMC, trusting Breece and Dobbins. This is a little gross, my friend. A little too thin for my liking. Some tricky investments here. JCM scares me. Emmett, a little tricky, but could be great. Dobbins, we know, will get hurt, though. And then Breece, I just don't think is worth pick 32. But McCaffrey, oftentimes, is the league winner you need. So receiver is going to be super strong. Because of that, we have London, Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, Jacoby Myers, Matthew Golden, Tyreek Hill, Ryan Flournoy, Hollywood Brown, and Jahan Dotson. Pretty strong receiver room. And then we also have Goddard, Strange, and Gesicki on this team. Not bad top 2, but then Gesicki might be close to worthless. Might just be worthless. But the team is pretty solid. Running back scares me, though. But I like the risk, in all honesty. Love the username. Love the avatar. We're also Green Labrador over here. Fun team. Like the Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts stack as well. The golden combo with Love is nice. But some of the running backs scare me quite a bit. Let's take a look at Sanka. We got Bo Nix, Malik Willis, Shador. So also kind of punted quarterback a little bit. Brian Robinson, Ramondre Stevenson, Blake Corum, Chris Rodriguez, and Tyrone Tracy. Only 5 running backs as well. Both of y'all getting a little bold, but I think I like this running back room a little bit more ultimately. That elite anchor, the RB2, a little bit mid, but not as high potential. If Kyron goes down, then this Corum click does save you. Betting on C-Rod over Bishal Tootin, not the craziest thing. And then Tyrone Tracy, if he avoids Jeremiah Love, would be a good value, but not for the entire year probably. I'm starting to think that Jeremiah Love is very live, very likely to be a giant. I'm starting to actually think that's where he'll go, more likely than Tennessee. But wide receiver, we got Rashi, Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, Tyson Shaheed, Ridley, Christian Kirk, Chris Bell, and Jalen Tolbert. Pretty solid, pretty good depth. That's 9 of them, so no issues there. And then tight end is super strong with Bowers, AJ Barner, and Kate Otten. Nice. Love the Bowers acquisition. The running back room, a little fragile, but risky enough to make it work. And then good luck with Willis and Shador. Like me, you're betting a lot on your QB1. You got Bo Nix up top. Bo Nix is also unstacked. Oh, no, he has Waddle. My bad. He has Waddle. Almost missed Waddle. They still haven't changed his jersey. That's probably why. So good luck, Sanka. Mad respect. And my team, we mentioned the mistake, so a full reminder. Drake May, Cam Ward, Kirk Cousins, Ty Simpson. Yikes. Derrick Henry, Traven Henderson, Dave Montgomery, Rico Dowdle, Mike Washington, and Nick Singleton. And then wide receiver Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Jordan Addison, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Williams, Laporta, Hunter Henry, and Pat Freiermuth. Ultimately, I got some really good values at a lot of positions. We have a strong receiver room up top, and then a very good running back room. Some swings on rookies that could pop. Drake May and Cam Ward could just carry me. But then the Kirk Cousins, Ty Simpson combo. I wish those 2 players and Kayshon Boutte were different. I fucked up round 15. That should have been Aaron Rodgers. And then we would have had a mega stack in Pittsburgh. And then 2 extra receivers for Kayshon Boutte. Yeah, that's where I messed up. Almost a perfect draft. Almost. But no cigar this time, in my opinion. So let's try to redeem ourselves. Let's hop into another UDFA 3. I'm hopping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 5 spots left. If you want it, come get it. And this one's filling quickly. We're already full, already ready to go. And I thought I cleared the bowl. There's just like a tiny little bit. So fuck it. We get pick 7. Not bad. I see plenty of friends and family in this one. We have Champ at the 101, Gerard at the 102, Danimal at the 104. I feel like I've seen Papa Smurf on Huhaim's channel, so maybe they're watching. Bukowski is in at 5. We got Ragnar drafting at 6. I see Dev at 10, and then our boy Sweetleaf at 12. I pulled a 107, so a lot of friends and family in this one. Thank you very much for hopping in. Sanka thinks my quarterbacks aren't very bad. At least I have Drake May, Cam Ward. Like that's where maybe I overreacted. But the team was very much built around an Aaron Rodgers stack that didn't materialize. So that's where I feel disappointed. The team could be that much better. But maybe Marcus's point, maybe Marcus's sarcasm is ultimately what is actually going to happen. The Steelers win 13-9 in Week 17, and having Rodgers is pretty worthless in the first place. So I hope you're right, Marcus. I hope just having pieces of the Steelers helps you get there and helps you get over the hump. But hopefully, maybe Rodgers is not the guy you need. But Ty Simpson, Kirk Cousins, not the end of the world. That could also work. That could also be all right. But I'll take CeeDee Lamb. I'll do it. Let's make Pepper Tony happy. But Sweet Leaf, having a good time. Picked up some new flavors from the store today. Good luck, my man. Enjoy responsibly. Have some fun. But if you're at home for the evening or, you know, not doing anything crazy for about an hour, smoking a little bit, drafting, very fun way to spend your time. That's what I do. Maybe I'm biased, but I enjoy it. I have a good time. But thank y'all for hitting that like button. We got 11 likes, 22 watchers. If we can get over 20 likes, then the third live is locked in. But if you're watching in the first minute, I did promise you 3 drafts on this live stream today. So this is number 2. But I'll tell you what, as soon as we... maybe I don't want a multi-table, in all honesty. Maybe I don't. I was going to say, we'll pull it up simultaneously at the same time. But then I was like, maybe not. Sure. CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors on this one. At picks 7 and 18. I almost took Derrick Henry. Not going to lie, I almost took Derrick Henry. But let's get strong at wide receiver. I've also seen some good prices on a player I like a lot in the third lately, so well, maybe I get him circling back. But starting off really strong so far, a receiver at rounds 1 and 2. You can still make that work. You're kind of behind the 8 ball, but our last draft, the depth at wideout wasn't like elite. It also had 2 early receivers though. But what's up, my man? What's up, Jerry? How we doing? Shout out Jerry. If you have not done so already, check out Jerry Football. Give him a subscription. We've drafted together several times and our teams are always fucking lit. Jerry and I are friends here on YouTube. We have had a bunch of collabs that have been just so lit and like genuinely a really good energy. Love Jerry. Recommend you check out his channel. Happy Friday, my man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you got some fun plans for the weekend. And I forget if you drafted this morning already. I know you've had an odd schedule with it, but I did catch the replay yesterday. Fun teams yesterday. And yeah, if this does work out, my boy Travis Etienne does circle back at pick 31. Let's go. He's been falling in this tournament. Not really convinced why. I like him a lot, and so we push running back in round 2, get who I wanted. Bowers fell to 29. Damn, Bukowski gets a good price on Bowers. Just noticing that right now. If Bowers goes in the 3rd, I'll tell you I'll be drafting a lot more Bowers. I don't really love drafting a tight end in round 2, but in round 3, it's way more comfortable. Sweet. Happened this morning. I salute you, my friend, and he's going live every day, so check him out tomorrow. Really strong takes, good teams, and have a good weekend, my man. Danimal said he did draft this morning. Both you guys killing it. Thank you very much, Danimal. Appreciate it. Danimal's in like everyone's lobby. Danimal drafts a lot with whoever goes lives. Danimal is a real one. But all right, we're on the clock. Flowers makes it. But I think today I'm gonna go Colston Loveland. Get an elite tight end. Maybe this lobby is one that doesn't care about it. Like for all those teams to pass on Bowers twice, maybe they all would have passed on Loveland twice again, but I doubt it. I doubt it. But Sanka says Bauer's my most highest exposure in the first 2 rounds, so calling his shot. I cannot say that is the case, my friend. I definitely can't say that. My highest exposure in this first 2 rounds is going to be probably Omarion Hampton, but I'll tell you this, Derrick Henry's given him a really good run for his money. I haven't checked my exposure in a minute. Since the UDFA launched, I haven't checked my exposure once. No, I'll take that back. I've checked it a couple times when the first UDFA was live. For the UDFA 2 and 3, I haven't checked it at all. And I've been taking Derrick Henry like crazy. There's a chance that Henry actually is vaulting over everyone. Because I've just been trying to get unique. I've been pairing him with almost everyone in the second round in this UDFA contest. Because he normally goes like exclusively past pick 20. So if you have him with Jefferson, if you have him with Genty, if you have him with James Cook, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, like you're unique. You're a little bit different. But Lamar almost makes it to me. That would have been really, really fun. But nah, I'm gonna go Rome Odunze, and I have Rome and Loveland. So I know where I'm going in the next round. Shit you not. I know where I'm going. DeAndre Swift, baby. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone knows, if you have 2 Chicago Bears in the 4th and 5th round, you're probably just taking Caleb motherfucking Williams. So perhaps the Swift drafter is going to get ahead of me and snipe me just out of spite. But that'd be okay. I ultimately, I think Caleb is not really worth a top 70 pick. But when I'm committed this much, I'm going to just force it. Because the team with Luther Burden will be behind me. That's Bukowski. Bukowski has Luther Burden. And I don't think Bukowski will take Caleb Williams at pick 68. But I think he will take him at pick 77. But 100% Danimal is indeed a real one. Got to go back to fishing end of the month. Okay, so you're getting all your drafts now. Not bad. But Sanka also switched up things for the UDFA. Yeah, with the pay, really. I mean, he has Swift, but like, fuck you. Fuck you. Damn it. Well, that wasn't very nice. Our quarterback room got a little bit thin last time. I'm just going to get in while I can. There's the team with both Allen and Lamar. So quarterback might be a priority around this turn. I don't think Hurts is going to last too long. So you can take Hurts unstacked. That's not a problem. Ideally, you at least have him with Devontae Smith at this point in time, but that team passed for Joe Burrow unstacked. Interesting. But yo, what's up, Ragnar? Thank you for hopping in. I was wondering if you were watching or if it was just a coincidence. But everyone's hopping into these UDFAs. Good luck, my friend. You got a fun team going so far. Did not let Lamar Jackson pass you by. You did have him stacked with Zay Flowers at least. But going double elite QB and Gerard taking Dak Prescott with Jaden Daniels, has a George Pickens Dak Prescott stack paired with a Terry Jaden Daniels stack. So I'm not going to get him. I'm the team with Lamb. And that's kind of why I took Jalen Hurts. I was a little worried that there'd be some pressure at the quarterback position. And if I tried to leave my stacks for the 7th, 8th round, I think I would get sniped more likely than not. So I might get sniped again. We got sniped on Caleb. But I don't think Ragnar's going to snipe me. I'd be shocked if Ragnar takes a 3rd quarterback. And Bukowski goes Jordan Tyson. So the name I want here is definitely Jackson Dart. Tyler Warren is definitely tempting, but I already have Colston Loveland. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. And last draft, I felt behind at quarterback. So let's redeem ourselves. Let's pivot off of that. Tyler Warren at pick 80 is really nice. Really good value to Fraggy. But I just don't think I was the one that needed to take him. And I'd much rather have 2 quarterbacks by round 7 than 2 tight ends. 100%. I think that's a much more valuable approach. And while I love Tyler Warren, I think he's really valuable. I think that entire tier of tight end is valuable. And I don't think he's that much different than Tucker Kraft, Harold Fannin, even Sam Laporta. But I'd much rather have Tyler Warren than probably all of them but Kraft. I think Kraft is the one where I think maybe he could be better than Tyler Warren. But Warren, I think, is definitely a top 5 tight end. So he goes off as the tight end 4. I think valid to be doing that. But his quarterback situation just scary enough where I'm willing to pass for my neighbor's Jackson Dart stack. I'm willing to do that. We got 2 running quarterbacks, good spike week potential. And with the team 5 having Allen and Lamar, the team at 2 having Daniels and Dak Prescott. And now we see the team at 10 with Drake May and Justin Herbert. There's actually a lot of teams in this lobby that don't have a quarterback yet. That's pretty shocking. So I'm one of the top 4 in terms of their quarterback investment. And right now, we're all kind of working with each other in this regard. I think it's giving all of us a little advantage. So I got to get back in at running back. We took Rico in the last one. Rico, I'm taking like all day in the 8th. I have way too much Rico daddle in this tournament to feel good about it. But, you know, in the $2 UDFA, I'm just calling my shot. Ragnar says 2 in the first 5 means no more quarterbacks. Yeah, 100%. There was no way you were sniping me on Dart there. But I like the Addison click in the 7th. That's what we did in our last draft. And it made my Jackson Dart selection even more compelling. If I didn't have Loveland, maybe I would have taken Tyler Warren. So knowing I didn't get Caleb, knowing that Warren was there, maybe taking Flowers and getting Lamar instead of Rome would have been pretty valuable. But I like what happened. I think I'm in good shape. I think I'm doing just fine. I wasn't going to pull up Jackson Dart to where I took Hurts. And Dart probably would not have made it to me at pick 90. So not going to panic. I think we're in good shape. And yeah, this is an interesting lobby. That team with Lawrence goes Mahomes. So they got 2 QBs. And then the team at 1 goes Purdy and Bo Nix, also getting 2 QBs. I think that was very important. Because Danimal Bukowski don't have a quarterback yet. And then both teams 11 and 12 also don't have a quarterback yet. So Danimal feeling the pressure. Unstacked Jared Goff. That's interesting. But I respect it. I kind of felt sad not having QJ last time. Now Wandale is excellent. But I think I can tolerate a little more risk rather than floor with this 4th receiver. I have Lamb, Neighbors, and Rome Odunze. I'll go Quentin Johnston. Snipe him from the Herbert team. But Kyle Pitts goes. Golden goes. Braggy and MPI Scotty. Not feeling the pressure. Bukowski ignored the pressure at quarterback. We'll see if Bukowski regrets it. Kyler goes to Sweetleaf. Stafford is falling in this one. That's pretty interesting. I wouldn't have expected a big fall, but Baker also off the board. I kind of wanted Pollard there, not going to lie. But Batch takes him. I think Batch should have gone Stafford, in my opinion. All right, C-Rod at 111. Calling your shot, Dev. Respect. But I can't imagine Fraggy is going to pass on Wandale given the situation, so I'm really hoping to get sniped. No, they go Casey Concepcion. Wow. I'll take Wandale at 114. I think I have to, but I really want Kenneth Gainwell. I was really hoping I got sniped, in all honesty. I think Gainwell was better for the build, but the price fall on Wandale feels a little too valuable to pass up. Gives us another stacking partner, but the running back room a little bit thin. I have Etienne and Rico Dowdle so far, and that's it. So gonna feel some pressure moving forward, but I have an elite tight end, 2 really good quarterbacks. If I wanted to stop with 2, I could. If I want to stop with 2 tight ends, I also could. Not sure I will, but I could. And then our receiver room is fucking loaded with Lamb, Neighbors, Odunze, Quentin Johnston, Wan'Dale Robinson. This is an interesting lobby. Fun team so far. And I'm not too upset about my running back room. There's a few teams with like a shit ton of running backs, and they're all on like the right side of the board. Like the team behind me has 5 running backs, only 1 receiver so far. The team after them has 4 RBs, 5 receivers. Dev has 4 running backs, 3 receivers. Team at 11 has 4 and 4. Sweetleaf also at 12 has 4 and 4. All of the thin running back teams are on the left side of me. And maybe I get some really good fallers as we go around the right side of the board, because they're just not going to need that position as much the rest of the way. Now, maybe I overestimate it. Likely goes at 123. I was hoping to get Isaiah Likely on this team with Jackson Dart, but I have Neighbors, so it's not the end of the world, but like, damn. And then Goddard goes, not going to lie, at 127, my plan was to take Goddard, and then at 138, I wanted Likely. So, holy shit. I thought both of them would be there. Worthy's still here. Damn it, this is annoying. Because my receiver room's fucking great. But, like, if y'all are just going to leave me these huge fucking discounts on wide receiver, I think I'm going to scoop him up. I'll take Xavier Worthy as well. But this could arguably just be a 6 wide receiver build. I have to stop soon. And the 7th could be like round 20. And I'm chilling. But we're going to get a lot of running backs on this team soon. And I might just go with like a 2-8-7-3. That kind of speaks to me on this one. A 2-8-7-3. Starting to speak my language. But not sure you hear that. My cat is in the background, meowing a little bit. Now I could go Cam Ward if I really wanted. I'm not gonna go with wide receiver. Aaron Jones would have been nice there, but let's take a massive swing, a bet against Chuba Hubbard. Don't really have many stacking partners available, so there's no one really needing to force it. And I've taken all the value on receiver already. I'm not gonna go Jalen McMillan. I think that's overkill. So I'll take Jonathan Brooks at 138. We'll be taking a lot of running backs on this one, so Just trying to lock it in. All right. We'll see what happens. But the team behind me, let me know what you think of the team at 8. Are they cooked or can they still fix it? They have a 2-6-2-2 going with Taylor, Jeremiah Love, Breece Hall, Devontae Smith, Quinshon Judkins, Joe Burrow unstacked, Tyler Warren, Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, Matthew Stafford, Josh Downs, Aaron Jones. Nice. What do you think of Team 8 with only Devontae Smith and Josh Downs so far on Underdog in round 12? Danimal wanted Lawrence, but someone reached up. Where did Lawrence go? Oh, you got sniped by one click. Damn. That team also sniped me on Isaiah Likely. Bummer. But Ragnar thinks there's too many running backs in Tampa. Kind of agree with that statement, but not entirely. One of them has to be pretty good, though. Damn it. I'm going to go Keaton Mitchell. I left Daniel Jones for the team with Tyler Warren, but they are continuing to pass on receiver. I want to see what happens. And I just need to get in at running back, like Dev is saying. Every draft I've been in, receivers fall and running backs go fast. Dev has Genty, Walker, Travion at 34. Damn, I didn't even notice that until now. Holy shit. Don't hate it, but that is high. Lad McConkey, Brian Thomas, Drake May, Herbert, Jacoby Myers, Laporta at 106. You took C-Rod at 111, so you're getting your guys. Kelsey, Shaheed, and Ayuk. It'd be amazing if you lucked into a double stack in LA with Brian Thomas and Lad McConkey. If BTJ gets traded to the Chargers, your team is insane. Good luck, Dev. I really hope that happens for the both of us. Would love to see that. Absolutely love it. But Tyrone is falling. Maybe he makes it back. If Dev passes, I think I'll get him. He goes Travis Hunter. The receiver values are not there. Damn it! Fraggy goes with RB7. Tyrone Tracy. Fucking bullshit. Alright, I think I'll just take James Conner then. Yeah, I'll put James Conner on this team. I think James Conner could be a big problem for Algier. Unless he gets hurt, I don't think he's going to go away on the goal line. And this just isn't a team that's going to have many goal line opportunities in the first place. So Conner, I just don't think is bad enough to disappear. He's been too productive when he's on the field. Now, maybe he's washed. Maybe the injury really set him back last year. Maybe he's not going to recover in enough time. But their offensive play caller, I think, is going to be much better. Well, okay, maybe not. They have a new head coach that comes from the Sean McVay system, so that I want to trust. But then they also hired Nathaniel Hackett, so that's like a death nail. Damn it! Champ goes Brian Robinson, Tank Bigsby. Fuck! Damn it! At least I got Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, and James Conner on this team. But I need 3 more running backs. I got 6 rounds left. I wanted both of them. Emmett goes. This team wound up much differently than I hoped it would. Not gonna lie, this team has been shifting in a very different direction. I will just take Tyjae Spears. I don't trust these guys around this turn, even though they went really hungry at running back early on. I don't trust them to let him fall back to me. So I'll go Tyjae Spears. Damn, what a fucking whirlwind of running back clicks around that one. 11 running backs off the board between Tyrone Tracy, 161, and Tyjae Spears, 175. Only 4 other picks were not running backs. Ragnar also needs 3 more running backs. Game on. Game on, my friend. Thanks for letting me know. I think I have to go running back at 186. Just get in before the cliff. But Ragnar says, unless he gets hurt, Connor will be their lead back. Meanwhile, Dev is saying it's a whole new coaching staff. They don't know Connor like that to favor him so much. I believe Algier is their main guy. They paid Algier enough. But I also just don't think that James Conner is the type of player that's going to disappear. I think there's too many players in that locker room that know him very well. He's going to have a voice. Not going to be shocked at all if he wins captain. And I just think he's too good to keep off the field. Algier has often been a split backfield, and I just don't think he's going to disappear. But Singleton is running again. Like I mentioned last time, I want to get back in. I've not been taking Singleton at all, so I want to increase my shares now. Knowing that he is running again is really encouraging. He got injured at the Senior Bowl, but has really good stats. Really impressive player, honestly. I think he's underrated. If he wasn't injured, I think this class would look more interesting. But went to Penn State for 4 straight years. And as a rookie, he had 1,000 rushing yards on 6.8 yards per carry, 12 rushing touchdowns. Really good breakout rookie season. He did fall off dramatically in year 2, down to 4.4 yards per carry, but still had 10 total touchdowns. And then as a junior, fucking went off, really popped in the passing game with 41 receptions, a total of 1,474 yards and 17 touchdowns. And then he also stayed in college as a senior, so like all of his skill set I think is developed. And while he did fall off in the run game again, I think what happened to him his senior year? That's actually weird. Maybe I don't know enough about what actually happened to him his senior year, but didn't get hurt, played all 12 games, just like not as productive. Maybe they had another running back alongside him. I don't watch college football enough to know all the details, but enough really good production, especially his junior year. Like, holy shit. 1,099 yards on 6.4 yards per carry, 12 rushing touchdowns. And then the passing stats are elite. 41 catches, 375, and 5 scores in the passing game. Really impressive from Nick Singleton. Really, really legit. But I think the best tight end to be drafting at this point right here is Cade Otton. We'll go Cade Otton for sure. Running back is depleted, and I'm going to call their bluff. I think Batch and Sweetleaf are going to take a running back, but it's just not valuable anymore. I went 5 straight. I only need 1 more. I definitely need at least a second tight end, but I'll probably take a third. And then I only think I need 1 more wide receiver because I have CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Quentin Johnston, Wanda Robinson, and Xavier Worthy. All 3 of those guys going in like the 9-10 turn. So to get Worthy in the 11th, Wandale in the 10th. A unique combination to have those 3. Specifically those 3. Not going to be replicated that often. But I could also take another quarterback on this team if I really wanted to. Not sure I do. But it's not out of the question. But Njoku, Taylor, Tucker, and Chris Brazzell. I thought they would grab a running back. They did not. They did not. Didn't like the value. And they invested a lot early on. Like Sweetleaf has Cook, Achane, Kyron, and Beischel-Tuten. I get not feeling desperate for a 5th. But Batch has Saquon, Scadaboo, Warren, and Pollard. That's not as comfortable. Yo, is Rodgers still here? I think I'll just take Rodgers then. Damn. I will. I'll just take Rodgers. I have Loveland, and I have Kate Otten. Could have gone Freiermuth there, but willing to push him. And even if he makes it back to me, I'm not convinced I'll take him. But the third quarterback, valuable to have, and Rodgers, I think, is really like the best price on the board, like bar none. If you tell me Rodgers plays, there's no one with a better price comparison than Aaron Rodgers once you get past Kyler and Baker and Stafford. Like, for the upside versus the price, Sweetleaf, I disagree, my friend. I disagree. Every day that passes means that he has not retired yet. And just like last year, he'll sign in May. He don't give a fuck about your fantasy team. He don't give a fuck about the media. He's not going to sign until the schedule drops. But every day that passes, he's less likely to retire, because that's just one more day of opportunity for him to retire that he's not taking. I view this the complete opposite way. I will acknowledge a few weeks ago, I felt the same way as you. I was like a little bit like, maybe this is a bad sign. But I think what really happened, I had so much Aaron Rodgers, I saw the percentage of it at 28%. And then I was like, oh shit, maybe I have too much Rodgers in case he retires. And then I got a little worried. He dipped back to 20%, and now I'm all in again. Now I'm back in 100%. Once Kirk Cousins signed in Las Vegas, I was like totally convinced that he was coming back. But Freiermuth did not come back. That's okay. Shit. I think I'm gonna go Damon Claiborne. All these running backs suck. Yeah, my 8th will be Damon Claiborne. We got Singleton and Damon Claiborne. Here's the thing. I think they already have their decision, man. Behind closed doors, I think they have a decision. Yeah, to Hartman's point as well. And I genuinely think part of the deal is that you don't announce the contract until I sign it in May, but I'm your fucking quarterback. Like that's what I think is going on. Rodgers doesn't want to deal with any of the bullshit. Maybe that's wise, maybe it's not. I don't give a shit. But is he going to play in September? I'm like 95% sure he will. So yeah, I think he's a fucking smash. And I view it oppositely. I think every day that passes is one fewer chance for him to retire, and that makes it more likely he comes back. I see it the other way, the opposite. But what's up, Right Tie? How we doing? Hartman, I saw this, but I didn't click on it. So what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Dev says Shador's a better value, in my opinion. I mean, if there's one guy after Rodgers, it would be Shador. But don't give me a Cleveland Brown over Rodgers. Like, really? What are we talking about, man? And then our last click will be wide receiver. He's not a Steeler anymore, but he stacks up with Jackson Dart. And I'm really low on Darnell Mooney. I don't think I trust Darnell Mooney at all anymore. Calvin Austin can spike. Darnell Mooney has gotten injured in dramatic fashion. Darnell Mooney versus Calvin Austin last year. Which one was better? Let's just take a look at the raw numbers. Last year, Calvin Austin had 55 targets in 14 games, 31 catches, 372 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 31, 372, and 3. Meanwhile, Darnell Mooney had 32, 443, and 1. So very, very similar. But one of them is definitely declining at age 29. Meanwhile, Calvin Austin is going to be, 24 next year? Kind of ascending. I'm not convinced that Calvin Austin isn't a better stack with Jackson Dart than Darnell Mooney. I'm not convinced that Mooney is valuable at all. So I'll get unique, I'll get different. Maybe I get a 0, but I really liked my receiver room in the first place. Maybe you think I went a little too thin with it, but our top 6 are really, really good with Lamb, Neighbors, Odunze, Quentin Johnston, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Xavier Worthy. Our 7th is Calvin Austin, and I went a little risky, but the running back room needed a lot of help. The running back room was kind of desperate. We had Etienne, Rico, and then a green log, 5 straight running backs with Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, James Conner, Tyjae Spears, and Nick Singleton. I also took Damon Claiborne. Tight end room only has 2, but Loveland and Kate Otten I think can get it done. I think that's okay. And then our quarterback room has Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dart. And then in case they have some injury risk that keeps them off the field a little bit more than we would like, especially Jackson Dart, I also have Aaron Rodgers. In my opinion, the best value at quarterback once you exit round 10. So the team is solid. I wanted it to go differently. There were some really weird values and snipes in this one, like both Likely and Goddard didn't make it to me in round 11. I thought I was 100% getting one of these 2 guys. So that one was a bit of a shocker. We get Worthy and Brooks instead. The running back room got dicey, and perhaps I should have taken Kenny Gainwell over Wan'Dale, but honestly, I'm willing to just risk it a little bit more and then just take a bet that like one of these late rounders that I chose is actually going to deliver. I'm starting to really believe in Singleton now that he's looking much healthier, and then Claiborne, kind of much riskier bet, but goes so late where if he does pop, it's a really good value, worth a swing. Tyjae, all he has to do is avoid Jeremiah Love, and he's a great value where I took him. Connor, not convinced he disappears, but the offense sucks. Mitchell is either worthless or super valuable, and then Brooks in the same camp, either worthless or potentially league winning. I'll just take him. I'll get him on the roster when I need the position. So a lot is hinging on Loveland, but like Hartman says, the wide receiver room in this one is solid. I don't think a round 20 8th receiver really matters either. But if it was receiver 8, I think it would have been instead of Rodgers, and it would have been Jeremy Bernard. That I think could have been really valuable. That I think would have been nice. But Jeremy Bernard versus Rodgers, I'll probably get a little bit more usage out of the quarterback 3 than the wide receiver 8. So should be interesting. But Daniel says that draft was a mess. Yeah, this thing was weird. I want to review like everyone's team. But Sweetleaf does not trust Aaron Rodgers. That is fair. But Hartman says A-Rod is not going to a damn mini camp. He's waiting in the ayahuasca cave. 100%. He's living his life. He will check in the summer. And I'm not worried. In April. I'm willing to take the risk in April on Rodgers. The reward is so much more worth it than the risk. But A-Rod, the Drama King, says Peanut Punch. Pretty valid. Sweetleaf, Patrick Queen just said it's 50-50. He returns, but what does he know exactly? I don't really care about Patrick Queen's opinion. No offense, Patrick Queen, but I don't really care. Got your like while I'm grinding this workday. Thank you, Best Ball on Call. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my man. Bukowski says wild draft. But Pepper Tony says, what exactly do you think you're getting with Rodgers? What are you hoping for? I don't see the hype for him at all. Well, in my opinion, the value is just a third quarterback that keeps your floor high. It's the advance rate argument of just having a third quarterback. But if we really want to go to Aaron Rodgers specifically, I think he's going to be better than he was last year, with more chemistry with Metcalf, with the system he'd be familiar with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy has made Dak look really productive, has had a really good offense in Dallas. So I like the mindset shift in Pittsburgh with Mike McCarthy. And these overall stats are not too bad. 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, only 7 picks. What I like about it even more is that sometimes those touchdowns came heavily in the same week. Like week 1, Rodgers threw 244 and 4 touchdowns. That's a nice spike for a quarterback going in round 18. He had another 4 touchdown game against the Bengals. Now, it is worth noting he only had one game. He had 3 games the entire season over 250 yards, and he never cracked 300. So that is notable. But Arthur Smith's offense is not as exciting as Mike McCarthy's offense. I think he can crack 300 yards. I love the Michael Pittman edition. I like the Rico Dowdle edition. I like the overall mindset shift of the Steelers as a whole. They need Rodgers for it to all pay off. But there's a couple games here with 4 touchdown potential. His game against the Ravens at the end of the year, I felt like he still had it. I feel like he still has something in the tank. And I think the offense is going to look better. So in round 18, if you're telling me you want quarterback 3, and I had to take Jacoby Brissett or like fucking what's the ADP looking like? Like Brissett and Mendoza go pick 160. Bryce Young is not that valuable either. Stroud I don't really like very much at all. At least Malik Willis runs, but like people are desperate to get their third quarterback in rounds 11, 12, 13. I'll wait till round 18 and get someone that can spike with 4 touchdown game. I think it's valuable. Like he's not going to finish as QB 32. That's my take on it. He's going to have a few games where he finishes top 15, not that many. But overall on the year, I think he'll play all 17 weeks, maybe miss 1 or 2 with, getting banged up or something. But I think he'll be there when it matters, and he'll just offer you that like 17-point floor most of the time that just helps you advance, and then also spike with like a random 25, 27, maybe even a 30-pointer. So I think just it's how late he goes, and everyone's desperate for a fucking quarterback. If he's a starter, why the fuck not? So that's my argument, Peppertoni, on what Aaron Rodgers actually offers you. A rare but valuable QB3 who for the price allows you to build depth elsewhere and probably hits your lineup as often as Mendoza, as often as Bryce Young. That's my take on it. But I know he's very polarizing and there's not that much upside, but I mean, all you need is for this matchup to happen in week 17. And then next thing you know, he's a top 5 quarterback and you had the better depth at other positions. Maybe he does be the guy that you need. I doubt he's going to be the guy you need in week 17, but I think he's going to be helpful to get you over the hump and advance in the contest and make it there. So I see him as just one of the more valuable QB3 advance rate pieces. But if you wanted to stop at 2 or just ignore him entirely, that's also valid. There is still the risk that he does retire. But Ragnar thinks it's going to be a shit show in Pittsburgh. I don't think so. But don't think he can play 17 games for sure. Almost a fact. 3 usable weeks that late is great value. Watch the playoff game from last year. Rodgers was absolutely terrible. Last throw was pick 6. That was against Houston, though. If you watch my channel in the regular season, I'm a matchup fiend. I want the matchup. I don't give a fuck about his bad stats against the Texans in the playoffs. One of the best fucking defenses. No, I want to bet on a Bengals matchup in week 17. That's what I want to bet on. Like, it's best ball. Like, quarterback 12 is kind of worthless, almost just as worthless as quarterback 30. So, like, I disregard this in terms of the value of Rodgers. Like, yeah, everyone's gonna have a fucking stinker. You want to look up Josh Allen's stats against the Texans? Let's have a fun little moment where we're looking at Josh Allen versus the Texans. Oh, this is gonna be fun. You want to know like how valuable quarterbacks against Houston are? Josh Allen had 253 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had 20 rushing yards, no touchdown. He didn't fumble, but this isn't valuable. This isn't valuable either. So, like, throw out games against Houston. Basically, whoever gets Houston week 17, you don't want to draft for the sake of best ball. That's a quarterback I'll just fucking put off my board. Even if it's Justin Herbert, I'm going to be like, fuck. But he plays Houston week 17. Like, okay. If A-Rod plays when he goes in ADP, is valuable third quarterback compared to the replaceable gains you take a receiver. Team dependent, but a third quarterback that will hit your lineup is nice. Yeah, this is my stance on it. 100%. But those 20th round receivers, maybe 15th next month. Wicks was undrafted a lot in the early big board. Some of the rookies will move a lot. We never know, but just draft what we are comfortable with. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're passing on a league winner this late to take Rodgers, but maybe we're passing on a league winner to take Bryce Young, and that's probably a little bit more likely given the ADP. But the debate is very fun. Yeah. See a lot. Here's the thing. I'm not really hyping him up. I just think the floor is the value. I think the floor is the value. It's so late, and like we're desperate for quarterback threes in these contests. But you're not going to get many of these, Bukowski. Not more than 4. I don't think you're getting more than 4. But he can 100% throw 4 touchdowns in the same game. And that's all I need to know. But Seanox as Hampton or Genty at the turn. I'm biased. I'm going to say Hampton. My ranks say Hampton. But I don't think Genty is far behind. But I'm taking Hampton. Josh sucked against Cleveland too. Week 16, 6.9 points. Yeah, anyone can spike for the points you need, and then anyone can also fucking crater and be dog shit and be worthless where you're taking him. It's very random. It's very matchup dependent, and that's how I play. I want to chase the matchups most weeks. When I give you those charts at the top of my rankings videos on which matchups give up the most points, it's for a reason. I want to be chasing those valuable gold mines in terms of matchup values. So I disregard the Houston game. If anything, it puts a little chip on his shoulder. He doesn't want to go out that way. But a reminder, let's do some reviews of this draft. We had Champ at number 1. Not sure if he's watching, but I'm curious about all the teams in this lobby. It was a very weird one. He has Purdy, Bo Nix, Tyler Shuck, Gibbs, Jacobs, Brian Robinson, Tank Bigsby, Jordan James, Katron Allen. Weak at running back, but has Gibbs and Jacobs. Probably fine. Like the names late. Not that bad. Excuse me. But receiver has Rashee Rice, Mike Evans, J-Mo, Marvin Harrison, Sutton, Jalen Coker, Pat Bryant, and Jeremy Bernard. Pretty good. And then tight end, Juwan Johnson, Mark Andrews, Jake Tonjes. That's fair. Fair team. Not the most inspiring, definitely with its holes, but everything has enough value in the starting roster. It should be fine. Interesting, valid team in the mix. But Gerard has Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Bijan, Kyle Monangai, Blake Corum, Rashad White, Emmanuel Wilson, and DJ Giddens. That's pretty solid, but risky with Kyle Monangai and Corum there. Receiver has Pickens, Olave, Terry Alec Pierce, Stephon Diggs, Trey Harris, Ryan Flournoy, and Devon Bailey. Not bad. A little rough down the stretch, super late, but the top 5, 6 I think are good, and really good up top, so that's fine. Tight end Ferguson, Okonkwo, Ferguson, and Parkinson. Legit. The 2684, not bad. Gerard, not bad at all. But Danimal was in here. He had Jared Goff, Brissett, and Michael Penix. Felt a little desperate. Took Goff unstacked. Henry, Bucky Irving, Ramondre, Ray Day, Najee Harrison, Ollie Gordon. Not bad. Not bad at all. A little thin with the receivers 4, 5, and 6, though. Receiver has Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Parker Washington, McMillan, Juwan Jennings, and Deebo Samuel. Little shaky. Tight end, I think, has too much. Kraft, Kittle, Goddard, and Freiermuth. You did not need the 4th on this one, my friend. But having Kittle, definitely solid. Nice. You have to finish top 4 to advance. Could work out, but no like quarterback stacks. Not that excited. Too much at tight end, if you ask me. Just a little too much. You should have left Goddard for me. You really should have. That's where I think you should have changed it up. Give me Dallas Goedert on my team. Not yours, Danimal, but good luck. I don't hate it, though. Like, the starting roster is good. It's good enough. We have Bukowski as well as Darnold, Cam Ward, Tua. So got a little behind at quarterback, felt the pressure, but not the worst. If Tua gives you enough starts, not the worst at all. Montgomery, RJ Harvey, Jadarian Price, Kenneth Gainwell as the fourth is pretty good. Charbonnet and Emmett Johnson, so a little risky with 5 and 6, but pretty solid up top, and you're going to get at least one Seahawks running back. Hopefully it's not just Sharbs, but not bad. Receiver has JSN, Drake London, Luther Burden, Tyson, Pearsall, Tesla, DK, Surratt, and Chris Bell pretty strong at receiver. And then tight end with Bowers and AJ Barner, who is stacked up, very legit. Good luck at running back, but I think you got enough depth to get by. And then the quarterback room, good luck with the quarterback room. But everything is pretty solid. Everything is really strong. And then you have Bowers, so you're in great shape. Nice team, Bukowski. Not bad at all. We had Ragnar as well, who went Allen and Lamar. CMC, Jordan Mason, number 2, scares the fuck out of me. Jonah Coleman, don't love. Woody Marks, not a fan either. Pacheco, I think, is also yikes. Hill, Ty Johnson, and Adam Randall. So 8 running backs. Desperately needed 8 running backs. The volume, I hope, carries you. Receiver with Flowers in the stack. Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Addison. Romeo Dobbs, Michael Pittman Jr., Shakir for the stack, Christian Kirk, Rashad Bateman for the stack. Very legit receiver room. To wait until round 4 and wind up with that is pretty nice. And then tight end have McBride and Kenyon Sadiq. Very legit. Running back, you're aware running back is gross, but that's what happens when you have Allen, Lamar, McBride, and CMC in the first 5 rounds. It can totally work, though. This could totally work. Running back, though. Good fucking luck. I'll skip my team for a second. Let's take a look at Dev's team. He has Drake May, Justin Herbert, Shador, Genty Walker, Travion, Chris Rodriguez, Alvin Kamara, Kamani Vidal, and Braylon Allen. Not bad, but risky with 5, 6, and 7. But love the top 4. You pulled up Rodriguez early, though. Don't hate it. Not at all. But was it at the expense of other positions? I think receiver, I remember you passed on Wandale. I think this team could use Wandale, not going to lie. But Ladd, Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers, Shaheed, Ayuk, Hunter, Horton, and Kyle Williams. So going super risky with the depth there. But if you get a Brian Thomas Jr. trade, you're in business. I like the risk. And then Laporta, Kelsey, that's good enough to work. That's good enough to work. But not bad. Love the strong conviction at running back. Pulling up Travion and Rodriguez, but receiver took a little hit. Let's not pretend receiver is shaky. But if I have Wandale over Shaheed and then like Aaron Jones over Chris Rodriguez, I think I feel a little better personally. But I respect the risk you took. I sure do. Definitely worth the bold stance in this type of tournament. And then we also had Sweetleaf at 12 as Kyler, Baker, and Malik Willis. Running back stopped at 4 with Cook, Achane, Kyron Williams, and Baishal Tootin. I hope Tootin does carry you. But the receiver room with 9 of them has Ted McMillan, Carnell Tate, Michael Wilson, Chris Godwin, Omar Cooper Jr., Jalen Naylor, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Washington, and Trey Tucker. I was hoping to get Dontavian Wicks on my roster. You took him from me. Good click. And the receiver room, I think, works. It's a little shaky, but Michael Wilson at a good falling value. Some good rookie prices. And then spike week guys with decent floor. The team is good, but reliant on Ted McMillan, not my favorite. Should be okay, though. But 4 tight ends with Hawkinson, Taylor, Dulcich, and Ingram. Got a little shaky at tight end, but with 4, you got the volume. Interesting, fun team. Very risky build, but the 3-4-9-3. You made your bed, you're laying in it, and honestly, I don't hate it. I really don't. Not sure I would do it with these specific names, but I really don't hate it. Some good values at times. and the mix I think makes sense, but some worthless tight ends. Let's not pretend like the tight end room is exciting, but not bad. Not bad, Sweet Leaf. Let me remind myself of my roster, see how I feel about it with some more context. At quarterback, I'm strong with Hurts, Dart, and we got the ultimate value floor play at pick 210 nonetheless. Also a full round past ADP with Aaron Rodgers QB3. Worth it. I think it was worth it. Running backs, I got 8 of them. I felt a little desperate, and I think I like my room a lot with Travis Etienne Jr., Rico Dowdle, Jonathan Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, James Conner, Tyjae Spears, Nick Singleton, and Damon Claiborne. Like those rookie swings a lot. Trying to get a lot more Nick Singleton after some positive news regarding his foot injury. He is running already. He got injured at the Senior Bowl, so he didn't run at the Combine. Wide receivers, though, very strong with only 7. I'm thinking we're okay. Lamb, Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Quentin Johnston, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Xavier Worthy. And then the swing with Calvin Austin III. Only for the spike potential with Jackson Dart. And then tight end, a little thin, but elite up top with Colston Loveland, and then really good floor play with Kate Otten. A lot of targets between the two. I think I'm okay with just 2 tight ends. I like my team. Running back room can compete, and it might hold me back, but I think I can finish top 4 in this one, given the context of everything. I think my team is okay. I like my team. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll just catch up with the chat. Pepper Tony says Achan at the turn. Pepper Tony always wants people to pull up Achan, and then you get in a lobby with Pepper Tony. He doesn't do it himself. I'll leave it at that. Bukowski, thanks for the look. No problem, man. Appreciate you drafting with us. And then Cnox says, I would, but I'm not confident I'll get the same receptions without Tua and McDaniel. Very valid. I'm worried about that too. I'd rather go Hampton than Achan and just bet on Mike McDaniel. But 7 guys to get 1 RB2, not a bad strategy. Devs has got to get big in a tournament like this. Definitely worth the risk for sure. And then I feel like tight end has a better value in the later rounds than wide receiver. You can grab dudes like Kate Otten and Hunter Henry over a boom or bust receiver. I would agree. In general, tight end in the double-digit rounds, especially like rounds 11 through 15, fantastic. And then even the ones that go super late, there's a few that we're really sleeping on that are really nice. But Danimal, thank you for the seal of approval. I think it's a solid team as well. We'll see about it. A little risky at running back, but should be okay. And then Pepper Tony, let's put your money where your mouth is, my friend. Let's join another draft. And it's only $2. If you can, I would love for you to hop in, Pepper Tony. But I'm hopping in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. But yeah, I would love to see the percentage on Achan, Pepper Tony. I would love to see, because I don't think it's this low. But it's been a minute since we've drafted together, and I think you did pass. Last I checked. You're definitely CD Lamb over Achan. I feel like that's a fair bet. But you know what? For you, I might just do it. I might just do it here at pick 6. I might take Devon Achan. Might just do it. But here's the thing. You see him fall so often. Even to like pick 20 sometimes. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But yeah, we do have T-Fall SP Dogs here. Breaking Best Ball in at pick 4. I see Ragnar in again. And Cnox is in here at pick 9. Let's go, my man. P-Punch in here as well at pick 8. And then we've drafted with Buddy Man before. Not sure if he's watching or just a volume drafter. That's definitely possible. And if anything, Buddy Man might be the team to watch out for a lot. But the Garage is in at pick 13. Appreciate you for being with us in spirit and also helping my EV. If the Garage is in your lobby and he's not streaming, the Garage is probably gonna make things tougher for you. But Bukowski just missed it. No problem, man. No worries. This one filled fast. This one did fill rather quickly. But appreciate you, Ragnar, for hopping in again. And Gibbs went to pocket change. Ragnar passed for Jamar Chase. I'm at pick 6. We can do anything. Fuck. I'm gonna do it. My boy. Probably incorrect to take him here. Probably a terrible decision. But we're taking him to get unique. We're taking him. But, yo, Mike McCullough in here. What's up, my man? He is at pick 12. And that G signifies he's won a Battle Royale, a weekly contest for, like, the Battle Royale. If you win the Battle Royale, do you win, like, 8,000? I believe that's what that means. I think so. He's taken first place in a weekly daily contest on Underdog. So a true G with the goat horns. For the longest time, I didn't realize those were horns. I just thought it was just like literally just the letter G. Just like on the cheek. But I've never done that. I don't qualify for that. So let's see what Buddy Man does at pick 12. Goes James Cook. And Ashton Genty, not bad. But I'm getting unique. I know who I'm planning to take. And I've been taking him like fucking crazy in this draft so far. But I definitely don't have him paired up with Hampton. That's what's nice about pulling up one of the running backs you like at that 11, at that 1-2 turn. That like picks 11 through 16. If you take them at pick 6, then you're going to pair them with another second rounder, and that will just inherently be more unique. So, like, if you really love Saquon Barkley, if you really love Ashton Genty, if you really love Devon Achane, I think you can pull them up, and under the, like, argument that you are just correct, believe that it's the right choice, and then pair them up with someone in round 2 and get different. I don't think it's crazy, especially in a contest like this. If someone makes the final, they only make $14. If I miss the final entirely, so be it. But damn it, I really did want Derrick Henry there. Tawny, killing me, bro. Damn it. All right. In that case, I'll go Malik Neighbors. I'll go Neighbors. An uncommon start. That's for sure. It might be incorrect, but it also might just be what you need. But C-Nox was debating Achane or Chase Brown. I wish you went Chase Brown, because then I would have gotten one of the running backs I wanted at pick 19. But maybe pick 6 is not the spot to do it. I wanted Hampton and Derrick Henry. That's what I really wanted. So, not today. But Hampton and Neighbors, at least it's very unique as well. But Hampton is a very polarizing player. There are some people who fucking hate Omarion Hampton's price. And I understand the risk involved, but even when he goes at pick 15, pick 16, he is not being drafted at his true ceiling. His true ceiling is indeed a top 5, top 3 running back. It really is. But yo, what's up, drafters? We got Goofy Chicken Fantasy in the audience at the moment. If you haven't done so already, check out Goofy Chicken Fantasy. An awesome vibe, excellent streamer. Love the soundboard. Really good energy and just a hilarious good time. And also drafts some legit teams. Drafts very legit teams. I think you deserve some more credit than you give yourself sometimes. Some very legit takes. Goes heavy running back. And I wish I could have done you proud with double RB there. But we get sniped on Henry. And I'm not taking Chase Brown over Malik Neighbors. Not going to do that myself. But Olave makes it back. I think that's a pretty good investment. Love the AJ Brown value, but Olave at pick 30, that's also really nice. So top of ADP with these last 2 clicks. Don't hate it at all. It's different. It's different. But we need Hampton to fucking crush, Neighbors to stay healthy, and then Olave to just deliver on the target share that we know he's capable of. But time for a smoke break. It's been a minute. Time for a little break. I'll hit the pipe and see you on the other side, my friend. See you soon. All right. So, a reminder, we got the Garage in the chat. Check his channel out. Check out Goofy Chicken. We also had Jiri Football in here earlier. Let me scroll up and find Jiri. In the meantime, I see Hartman in here. Also Hartman's channel. Check out Hartman Fantasy Football. Not this one with the dog on the username. His main channel is Hartman Fantasy Football. Really sharp drafter. Good takes. For some reason, I feel like Peanut Punch is a live streamer, but I cannot confirm that, but I feel like he could be. We had Anthony BestBall on call in here as well. Check out his channel. Give him a subscription. And then, yeah, like I said, Jiri was in here earlier. And then, not sure he checked in today, but Huhames, friend of the channel, check out Huhames as well. But Jamie also has multiple channels. The IDP Center, going for 2 podcasts. Check out those. And I believe so far that's everyone that has checked in. But Lamar goes in round 4 to P Punch, probably where he should be going. But P Punch took Flowers over Allen. That's bold. Running back drying up a little bit, so could go Bucky Irving, but I am vehemently Egbuka over Bucky Irving, so I'll go Emeka Egbuka with some falling value. There were some names that got pulled up above him that normally go later. Like, this is an interesting lobby. We see Flowers in the 3rd, Devontae Smith in the 3rd as well. Travion went at the 3-4 turn. T. Higgins fell to pick 39, so that team with Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, kind of just the same thing as if he went T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, but they got who they wanted. And then Ladd McConkey went at 40, Lamar Jackson at 41, so Garrett Wilson fell to 42, and then I got Egbuka at 43. It's been a minute since I've seen Egbuka consistently in the back half of the 4th round. He's been usually going top of the 4th, and I think he's a legit 3rd round value, so I'm very strong at receiver on this team. Neighbors, Olave, Egbuka. We got some good stacking partners later on. And so far, we're chilling. But might feel the pressure at running back coming up soon. Nice and blunt. Could go Quinchon, could go running back, but fuck it. I'm going to push it. And let's just be really fucking strong. At wideout, let's go Romadunze, who I think is actually the more valuable Bears receiver. The team at 1 has Burden and Loveland, so unless the last draft repeats and the Swift drafter snipes me on Caleb, then I'll probably get Caleb at pick 67. Not going to let him fall to 72, 73. That team at 1 definitely will take him. They have 2 Chicago Bears, but I will probably take Caleb on this team. But C-Knox says Hampton with McDaniels and Harbaugh should thrive. The O-line just needs to hold up more than 3 games. There's so many good reasons to trust Hampton, and if you don't believe that Keaton Mitchell is really that involved, then Hampton is going to crush. Hampton, I think, has one of the more reliable arguments that you can make about the running backs in the next tier. Taylor was not a top 10 play when Daniel Jones wasn't the quarterback. His injury concern scares me quite a bit, but Taylor 100% should probably be taken top 5 at the position. I take Taylor a decent amount myself. McCaffrey probably delivers, always delivers, except when he gets hurt. So either yes or no. But did score fewer touchdowns last year. That is worth mentioning. Cook feels like a great floor play in the top 10, but to put up a full season in the top 5, probably unlikely, but the Bills RB1, a very safe bet. Genty could be elite, probably a better prospect than Hampton, but plays for the Raiders, not a better team, not a better O-line. I don't trust Genty as much as Hampton. And then Saquon, 100% could have 2K yards again, but last year fell off. His yards per carry were dog shit, and has some injury risk as well. Kenneth Walker, very legit, but the Chiefs haven't quite committed to running back in a while. He should be good, though. Achane, I think losing McDaniel, I'd rather have Hampton. Jeremiah Love, we don't know his landing spot yet. And then I love Henry as well, but Hampton can be better than all of them. Damn it! This is annoying. Carnell Tate at 67 would be nice. But Jaden Daniels available. And Caleb. I'll go Caleb. But feels dumb to pass on Jaden Daniels there for Caleb Williams. That felt dumb. But we're trying to thread the needle in this contest. Let's do it. But Goofy Chicken says, thanks, man. Love the Hampton pick at 6. Doing something strange with a little bit of change. At least it's worth the gamble, man. In the $2 contest, you gotta get weird. You gotta get bold. So worth the swing. Not gonna be afraid to pull up Hampton every now and then. But Peanut Punch says, no, sir, I've been a guest, but what you guys do is too much for me. No worries, man. Appreciate you hopping in these chat rooms a lot and drafting. You are a sharp drafter, my friend. P-Punch knows what he's doing. I've been sniped many times by P-Punch. I've been envious of P-Punch's teams more than mine several times. P-Punch, a very, very legit drafter on here. Mike says, I'm matching the smokes break. Gives me the idea to pull up Hendy. I like it, man. He's not going on that side of the board too often. And I think he is indeed worth a 4th rounder. So take him in the 4th if you want him. And then you also pair him up with Drake May. I like that too. I like that too. I like it, buddy, man. Like to know I'm not the only one pulling up Treven Henderson. But I like Jordan Tyson a lot. And I will take him. I will take Jordan Tyson at 78. But yeah, in the UDFA, you got to have some fun, got to take some stances. And one of the stances I'm taking on this team is that Hampton is just going to do everything for me. Hampton's going to be so fucking good that my RB2 is the only other position I need to fill. He's going to hit my lineup every fucking week. And I can push some of the depth because of that luxury. That is the stance I am taking on this team. Is it correct? Probably not to like the extent that he's actually RB3, but it's not impossible, and I think he'll be close enough to it that I think I'm going to be fine. There's still good running back depth moving forward. I don't think it's the end of the world. But LJ Racevedo says, LJR Acevedo. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Egbuka with no Evans is a touchdown machine. I know, man. Like, he hasn't moved up enough. This is where he was going before Evans signed. And Evans has moved up 2 rounds. Egbuka has moved up like 3 picks. Egbuka is such a fucking smash. I like Egbuka a lot more than Tet. I like him more than Zay Flowers. I like him more than Lad McConkey, Garrett Wilson. T. Higgins is a bit of a wash, but I think Egbuka will be healthier than T. Higgins. Higgins usually misses some time. But I think Egbuka is bottom of the 3rd. Very clearly a 3rd round pick in my opinion. But Seanox's Hurts in the 5th seems kind of good. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm not convinced that Buddy Man would have sniped him, but that team at 11 wanted to get specific. They did not want to gamble that Dak would circle back. Didn't want to give the George Pickens drafter a chance. So they wanted 2 quarterbacks in this turn. They wanted to be different. They have Saquon and Jalen Hurts, CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Team 11 doing what they want. I don't think it's bad. The thing is, they're not going to be there at 83. So the difference between 59 and 62 is really negligible. If that's what you want to do and get both of them, be my guest. But damn it, was hoping we had Rico Dowdle. We don't. I'm going to take Kyle Monungai. Could be fucking worthless. But I have never taken Kyle Monungai in the big board. I literally had 0% Kyle Monungai in the more expensive drafts. I will take him on occasion in the UDFA. For $2, I'll give myself a little hedge that all of my DeAndre Swift shares might not actually be worth it. And maybe Swift gets hurt and Kyle Monungai is just like from week 7 down the stretch getting like 25 touches a game. Like what if? You know what I'm saying? We also have Caleb and Rome, so this is like the last Chicago Bear you can fucking draft. I don't mind a running back stack with the quarterback. So betting on Chicago, ultimately that's not the worst decision. And he was starting to pick up a lot of steam down the stretch, get a lot of goal line reps. I think I might have faded him a little too much. I don't think he's as worthless as I might have thought. And with Rico off the board, I'll just take a Chicago player over a Cardinal. Give me the Chicago Bears backfield over the Arizona backfield. It's more valuable in Chicago, inherently. But I think I'm just gonna take Baker. I could go Brock Purdy, but he doesn't stack up with my roster, so I'm gonna pass. And I'll just go Baker Mayfield. But I'm passing on a lot of like valuable picks on this team. Like we passed on every running back above Hampton. We passed on all those running backs in the 5th to take our 4th wideout in Rome. Again, I passed on a lot of players to take wide receiver 5 with Tyson. So I've been comfortable to kind of just do that in this one. There's a lot of teams just getting their guys. And I got the Igbuka Baker Mayfield combo. There's also some back stacks available with Baker. I think Baker's really valuable. So I'll go Baker. And now I have like multiple options in the next round that make a lot of sense. Receiver was really valuable in this range. QJ, Wandale, Pittman feel like great picks past 100. But I already have a really strong receiver room. That wasn't the position of need. I could have gone running back. Blake Corum just went 108 to Buddy Man. That would have been a solid pick. But quarterback depth, also valuable. Don't want to fall behind. And I think I'll still be okay. But Stockton says, nice and blunt, when did you start your streaming adventure, man? Do you put out any fantasy info via articles or rankings? Yeah, so the streaming adventure started a few years into the channel. This is like year 3 of like really streaming. Last year was kind of like more hardcore in the streaming, and then this year definitely locking in with a lot more of that. So the channel actually started with just rankings videos for the most part, for like this is year 5. So in general, I do make a lot of rankings articles, but I'm treating the pre-draft portion for just lives. We're really leaning into best ball this time of year, but I'm gonna go Kenny Gainwell for the sake of the stack, but nah, I don't think so. I'll take the fall on Jadarian Price. I think Jadarian's Price ceiling is higher. If he is indeed the Seahawks RB1, which I think is pretty likely, I'd rather have Jadarian Price than Kenneth Gainwell. But yeah, so especially after the draft, we'll be getting back in on some of the more like videos on the channel. I have strictly done live streams, except for a pre-recorded draft that I did with Huhames since the end of the season. And I just haven't wanted to edit anything. But yeah, especially once I have the landing spots and we enter May, we're going to get back to posting videos. I do not write articles. I only do videos. So I will post that on YouTube in May. We'll probably do one position a week type of thing as I ramp up my editing availability and my commitment to that type of content. But yeah, at the moment there is no articles I'm writing. I have not made my rankings public. They're in the works, but until the draft, I am just not locking in terms of that type of content. So it will be definitely more of a focus as we get through the summer. But at the moment, we're just live streaming. And Tyler Shuck makes it back. We have Olave on this team, so fuck yeah. I considered Shuck in the last round too, but we go Jadarian Price, the more needed position, running back. Gainwell went 121, but at 126, Tyler Shuck made it back, and I have Olave. Absolutely, give me Tyler Shuck here as my third QB. Caleb is great for the spike potential, but I don't think he's actually worth quarterback 7 or 6. Yeah, we took him QB 7 off the board ultimately. I think Daniels would have been better, but Caleb has stayed healthier, and it stacked up with our roster more. Wow, the Terry drafter passed for Carnell Tate. That's wild. That's crazy. But I think when Caleb doesn't perform well, the run game's really going to deliver. So Manungai will factor into that. And Caleb has like a very low floor very often. But Baker, I think, helps me fill in a lot more top 10 weeks. And then Tyler Shuck has a very high ceiling, actually. Shuck is pretty underrated. Good rushing value. Very good player. And for me to get him in round 11 when everyone is like clamoring for 3 quarterbacks, I'll take him there. I'm shocked that Team 1 hasn't taken a quarterback yet. Team 1, I think, is fucked up. Is a 0-2-6-3, and right now Malik Willis has already come off the board. He's got Bijan and Kenny Gainwell. Wow, got bailed out with Kenny G as the RB2. That's crazy. Has 3 tight ends with Bowers, Loveland, and Kraft. And then the receiver room with Pickens, Burden, Makai Lemon, Harrison, Myers, and Xavier Worthy. The team is amazing, but the quarterback room is not going to be scary at all. But the Garage saying, I've been smashing A.J. Brown in the 3rd and Hendo season in the 4th. I've been doing that a lot as well, my friend. I love doing that. And then Drake May in the 6th. That's like chef's kiss. That feels like one of the best ways to go about betting on the Patriots. But I got 3 quarterbacks. I'm not invested in that. Ultimately, I need some running backs, but I think Travis Kelce is the best value here at pick 139. I'll go Travis Kelce. 10 picks past ADP. My tight end 1 gonna carry me with a good floor. I'll do that. Push tight end quite a while, but we got Hampton, Kyle Manungai, Jadarian Price. Gonna get a lot of volume at that position. We're done at quarterback. We have 5 strong receivers with Neighbors, Olave, Egbuka, Odunze, and Tyson. Time to get back in at tight end. And tight end and running back 100% the position of need in these next several rounds. But Sports Nest, fuck. Go ahead, man. It's only $2. Light it on fire. But, like, I just don't think it's smart. Like, you need a quarterback. And now you have fucking 6 receivers? 5 receivers? Yeah. Bowers, Loveland, Kraft, Kincaid, and Likely. It's just 3 of those are zeros every fucking week. And you don't have a quarterback yet. Like, the fuck are you doing, man? The fuck are you doing? But you're going to let Jonathan Brooks circle back? I'm definitely taking him over Keaton Mitchell. I've got so much invested in Hampton, it'd be fucking stupid to take Keaton Mitchell on this team. If you pull up Hampton like I did, do not take Keaton Mitchell. The argument you're making is that the rest of the Chargers backfield is kind of worthless. It's just all Hampton. So this team is fun. This team is interesting. And the team at 101 is fucking crazy. But the Garage says the Tyson hype is big today. He might be wide receiver 1 in the draft. I'm coming around. I'm coming around as well. I think as he continues to fall to the 7th round, I'm scooping him up a lot closer to pick 80. It just feels like one of the few receivers in that range that feel like a really good steal. I know you love your boy Michael Wilson, but Tyson versus Michael Wilson straight up, the range of outcomes for Tyson, while they could be worse, they could also be much better. Like, especially once Schrager mocked him to the Chiefs, I was like, oh shit, I want a piece of that. So I have started to take him a lot more as those receivers have fallen. Like, if Tate is now going to go at 70, Lemon at 72, Tyson at 78, I want all three of them at that price. But Tyson, I'm starting to try to get more than Mekhi Lemon. I'm passing more on Lemon and Tate, but especially Lemon, with the idea that I can get a really good value later on Tyson. But my running back room probably needs a little bit. I'll go Brian Robinson over Emmett Johnson today. We already have Jadarian Price, so I'll pass on the risky running back. I have Kyle Monangai, Jadarian Price, and Jonathan Brooks. A lot of risk there. Let's go Brian Robinson, who carries a lot of risk as well. Might just never really see the field with Bijan ahead of him, but I think he'll be involved enough. I love the Kevin Stefanski system, and I'll go Brian Robinson there. I'll go B-Rob. If he does see the field, he'll be a top 10 play that week. But Jiri just recorded his Pete Overzet tout video. Good luck, Jiri. Love to see that, man. Exciting competition over there. I don't think I'm going to do it. There's part of me that might change my mind, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Only 1 week left to submit for So You Think You Can Tout. I don't think I'm going to do it. But Ragnar says $2 drafts are good for practice builds. They still need to be viable. Yeah, I mean, maybe they just lock up Rodgers at 192 and Kirk Cousins and Ty Simpson and actually gets it done. But like, yeah, team one is just burning $2. Team one's fucking crazy. Only Bijan and Kenneth Gainwell has 8 receivers, 5 tight ends with Bowers, Loveland, and Kraft. Kincaid and Likely. Fucking crazy. Fucking wild as fuck. Oh shit, I'm on the clock. Okay. I'll take TJ Hawkinson at a little discount. Okay. ADP 169, we get him 174. Who cares about 5 picks this late? But I need tight end. We know the room is a little thin at that position because of team 1. And I didn't realize I was on the clock. So I'll just take TJ Hawkinson unstacked. Who cares? I need tight end 2, and he has some upside for sure. But good luck, Jiri. I'll check that out after we log off. This is our last draft of the day, so I'll check that out in just a little bit. But in the meantime, let's take a little rip from the pipe. We're about to put Buddy Man on the clock, so I hope you're following, my friend. I hope you can match me 1 for 1 and still get it all done in time. But you have 40 seconds for these 2 clicks. Damn it, you take Kate Otten from me. Fuck you. Damn it. It's okay. Also, Trey Harris. Two of my boys this late. 2 of my boys. Good click. Good click. But I had Baker, so I was definitely in the market for a Kate Otten. I've ignored receiver for a very long time, but I think justifiably, our receiver room is still really strong. Yeah, honestly, round of applause. Honestly, I'm impressed. I think most of us are. That team at 1 has forced the room into a very tough spot. But Strange and Kate Otten, you definitely needed it. Respect the decision. But I'm going to go Tank Bigsby 100%. Love that for me. Love that for me. And this running back room is coming together. I might do another 8 running backs, honestly. But then I'd have to go 3-8-7-2. I think I need to go 3-7-7-3. I think that's what I need to do on this one. A 3-7-7-3, 1 more running back. There's not many left that I like. 2 more receivers and 1 more tight end. I think is the way to go, the way to manage this. But T-Fall SP Dogs goes Aaron Rodgers at 189. I was not in the market. I have Tyler Shuck as my QB3. But he also has Stafford and Goff, so pretty legit. Do you have any Steelers? You have Jalen Warren. Singleton goes. Would have loved Nick Singleton at 198. I don't get him. I think I know exactly where you're going with this click, but I'm not gonna snipe. Yep, you take him. Good job. Good job. In that case, I think I'll go Gunnar Helm. Or Jeremy. Yeah, fuck it. I might really regret this, but I'll go Jeremy Bernard. Get back in at receiver. Hard to find a receiver I like later that is much better than Jeremy Bernard. There's a few I think could be close, but not many. But at this point, Ragnar, yes, this probably has to be the case. But like, how are the position limits not taking effect? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Completely disregarded the position limits, if that's what they're doing. Sports Test 1 just fucking sent this one into the void. So this one is a 4 of 11 advance, with the exception of Team 1. So this is a good lobby to be in, despite some sharp drafters alongside us. My team is coming together. My receiver room is really good. My running back depth is coming alive. True anchor RB approach with Hampton. Quarterback room feels strong. Caleb Baker and Tyler Shuck, all three of whom are stacked up. Caleb with Rome Odunze, Shuck with Chris Olave, and Baker with Igbuka. Receiver room is really nice with Neighbors as well. Tyson, Bernard, rookies I really like. And then tight end is maybe stuck in the past, betting on these guys to stay healthy. But Kelsey, especially 10 picks past ADP, feels like a great value. And then TJ Hawkinson, a little past ADP in a weird lobby like this, not bad. But I kind of regret not taking Gunnar Helm, honestly. We have Helm going right after me, and Njoku at 202, Terrence Ferguson at 204. But not the end of the world. There's one position I don't need to be amazing. It's tight end. But do I go with just another high-value handcuff at running back? Or do I take a tight end before it gets desperate? Because SP Dogs has Stafford. And sorry, man, but I want Colby Parkinson on this team. I need a third tight end. Blame the team at 1 for putting me in this position, because typically I'd be waiting on Parkinson definitely in the 19th, if not the last round. But by passing on Helm, I think I locked myself in to just needing it really bad, and I'll take Colby Parkinson. Ahead of the team with Stafford, Gesicki goes right after me. So yeah, tight end was a priority. And then Ragnar also only has 2 with Okonkwo and Schultz. It's a desperate position at this point in time. Sorry. I knew what I was doing. It was intentional. I will admit, but it was kind of critical for me. Blame the team at 1. Like I said, the team at 1 is the reason why this happened. But the team at 1 finally gets back in at quarterback, and running back goes Tua and Katron Allen. That's wild. QB1, RB3, drafted in around 18 and 19. Fucking crazy. I need one more running back, one more receiver. I'll take another rookie. I like Surratt. I'll take both Indiana guys. Give me Jeremy and Surratt on this one. I got Neighbors, Olave, Igbuka, and Rome. Let's take some bets on rookies. Let's fucking go. But I told you this is a 3-7-7-3, so that final pick will be a running back. And we'll see what's still on the board for me when it's my time on the clock. Oh, that's right. That's right, Ragnar. We are doomed. Oh no. Did he have any other Falcon? No. He didn't go Kyle Pitts. Fucking pussy. Should have gone Kyle Pitts over Tucker Kraft. I'll just take a rip from the pipe before I call another random stranger a pussy. Pernaco and Kyle Pitts. If anything, that team has some big balls. If anything, that team is very bold with some massive balls. To do a 1-3-10-5. I've never done a 1-3-10-5. I assure you that. And if I have, it definitely didn't have Tua. It had Josh Allen. But not many running backs off the board. One that I wanted did go, though. Ray Davis, not available to me. That would have been nice. I think DJ Giddens speaks to me, but if you've been watching the channel long enough, you've seen me do this a few times. I'm actually mixing him in a lot in the UDFA. Give me Trevor Etienne, and that way if my bet on Jonathan Brooks, which I think is actually really important for this team, doesn't work out, then it's because Trevor Etienne beats him. I think it's very easy to talk yourself out of Chuba Hubbard, and then it's also very easy to talk yourself out of Jonathan Brooks. But the Panthers backfield has value, and if I told you that this year they drafted someone in the 4th round that played for Georgia, I think you would want that. I think we would be drafting that guy. Well, they did that last year. They drafted Trevor Etienne in the 4th round last year, and they had Rico Dowdle that kept him off the field. But give me Trevor Etienne in round 20. Here's the thing, Peppertoni. Trevor has never come out in public saying you've said my name wrong. Only Travis Achan has done that. So I will call Travis Achan, Travis Achan. I will call Devon Achan, Devon Achan. But I will call Trevor Etienne, Trevor Etienne. But Fancy Dog saying your thoughts / concern must have helped feel a hell of a lot better. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. I'm forgetting what this is in regards to, but you're welcome. Peanut Punch says, are y'all laughing at my Trevor Etienne pick? That's probably what it is. But give it to me. Give me a full fade on Chuba Hubbard. Give me Jonathan Brooks and Trevor Etienne. If Brooks is not the league winner and Chuba is as bad as most of us think, like I have not heard many people with conviction argue that Chuba Hubbard is worth it where he goes. And that's why Brooks has been moving up the board. And this one, he fell to 150. But a lot of people shit on Brooks. A lot of people shit on Chuba. Neither feel great. But like I said, if I told you they drafted a running back in the 4th round this year, you'd probably want that guy in your team. You'd probably take him in round 20 every now and then. It's probably not a bad guy to mix in. Well, they did that last year. Give me Trevor Etienne. I love a Georgia running back. I cannot quit Georgia running back. So that's my final pick on this team. My boy, Trevor Etienne. Y'all laugh at me as much as you want, but when he's this year's Kyron, you won't be laughing. All right, this team is fun though. Out of the 6th slot, we went unique with it from the jump. Wound up with a 3-7-7-3. Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield, Tyler Shuck feels very strong as a unit. Individually high spike potential, but collectively kind of a low floor any given week. So I think they complement each other appropriately. Running back, we're making a major stance on Hampton. We pulled him up 10 picks, took him over Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. My RB1, true anchor. We're doing it. But Kyle Monangai could be worthless. Don't like taking him too much. But if he is indeed much better than I thought all February and March, then he's probably worth this pick. And he's correlated with Chicago. Did have some very good success on the goal line last year. And maybe Swift gets hurt, but he could be challenged if they draft someone this season. I don't think that's out of the question. He was ultimately a 7th round pick, but got a lot more touches than I want to give him credit for. And I think I should be drafting him a little bit more often than I was. I want to mix him a little bit extra at this point in time after fading him so hard. But Jadarian Price could be my league winner on this one at pick 115, a good falling value. And let's just hope he's the Seahawks RB1. If I have the Seahawks RB1, Hampton, and then a few weeks when Monangai finds the end zone, I think I'll be in good shape, where as long as one of my handcuff RBs pops, then I could have the room that wins me the championship. The bet in Carolina, we got Brooks and Trevor Etienne. One of them I think will get the ball. I do not believe in Chuba Hubbard enough to want the backups in Carolina. And then I love the Falcons handcuff and Brian Robinson. Definitely valuable if Bijan goes down, but outright standalone value at 163. I'll pull him up with confidence. And then Bigsby fell to me at 187. I'm happy to take him there. One of my favorites. Love him. I've mentioned him many times in the past. But receiver is a lead on this one. We have Neighbors in round 2, Olave in the 3rd, Egbuka in the 4th, Rome Odunze in the 5th. I got Jordan Tyson to fall in the 7th, and then I took Jeremy Bernard and Elijah Surratt in rounds 17 and 19. Both Indiana receivers, I think, are pro-ready this season. So love that. I think that's really nice, and I trust the top 4 enough that even though we don't know where these rookies are going to play, I believe in their talent, and I think the landing spots do come together. I like this receiver room a lot. This is why I think this team could win it all, because the receiver room is so effing good from top to bottom. But Kelsey, Hawkinson, and Colby Parkinson. I did pull up Parkinson, but in a room like this, where tight end was so fucking weird, I got values on Kelsey by 10 picks, and then Hawkinson by 5. Pulling up Parkinson in the 18th round because everybody is desperate, I think was a really valuable call there. So I think the tight end room is just good enough, especially if Parkinson does what he did last year. He's a fantastic click. Kelsey, a great floor play, and then Hawkinson could deliver if he's fully healthy, could have a bounce back season. He's fine. He's whatever. But this team is balanced. The running back room, super risky, but definitely with some high upside. I like it. I like it a lot. Receiver room feels great. Quarterback feels good and complete. I don't think there's any holes on this team, despite the risk at running back. And a little bit at tight end. A little bit at tight end. But I like this team a lot. Let me know what you think in the comments. We had Team 1. They closed it out with Katron and Michael Penix. All right, so at least they got the Falcons quarterback every week. But whoop-de-doo. Good for Team 1. Bijan, Kenneth Gainwell, and Katron Allen are their only 3 running backs. They have Bowers, Loveland, Kraft, Kincaid, and Likely. Pretty unnecessary. And then 10 receivers with Myers as the 5th. Yeah. I salute you, Team 1. Thank you for your donation. Ragnar was in here. And in order, he went Jamar, Nico, Rashi Rice, David Montgomery in the 4th, Waddle in the 5th, got Daniels to fall at 71. That's fucking crazy. Team with Terry passed. So I'm sure he was so happy about that, because taking Carnell Tate, given the situation, not as exciting. But love that for you, Ragnar. Really good value. I kind of wish I took Daniels myself, but Harvey and Tyler Algier, not bad. Bo Nix, Omar Cooper Jr., good stack with Bo Nix. That's the highest I've seen Omar Cooper actually go. Round 10. I might have seen him at like 111 once, but 119, that's probably the highest I've seen Omar. But I've seen him in the 120s a lot, so I hope he's not a Jet, my man. There's a lot of rumors Omar Cooper will be a Jet, and that would fucking suck. But then you went Stroud, Mike Washington, Chigo Okonkwo, Emmett Johnson, Schultz, Sean Tucker, Nick Singleton. So running back is a muck. Luke McCaffrey in the 18th, Sam Roush in the 19th, and then Bryce Lance to get different. Those final 3 clicks. All right. Go for it, man. Receiver strong, so the 3-7-7-3 makes sense. We're in a similar camp, similar approaches. I will say I like my tight end room a little bit more, but you do have Okonkwo stacked up. Same with Schultz. You have better stacks than I do at tight end, but we have some fun teams. You and I going heavy receiver and then quarterback in round 6. I'm happy you got Daniels on this one. This one feels really competitive. Good luck, Ragnar. I like it. Ragnar just realized that what team 1 name is makes sense now. Sports Test 1. Yeah, he's definitely testing. He's definitely pushing some boundaries. I'll give him that. We were laughing at your calling out spot 1. Team 1 is definitely worth laughing at, but yeah, it made things interesting. We don't hate that. We definitely don't hate that at all. But I think the Bears like Monungai, says Mike. He's a pro. Don't see him being X, even if they drafted day 2 running back. Yeah, I think he's more appealing than I gave him credit for before. I'm trying to mix him in, especially for $2. I'm trying to mix him in a little bit more these days. Some high upside if he takes a year 2 leap. But we'll take a look at Team 4. T-Fall SB Dogs went Puka, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, J-Mo Adams and Parker Washington, Jalen Warren, Stafford and Goff. Nothing too crazy. Downs and Higgins, JCM, Tyrone Tracy, Naylor, AJ Barner, Rogers, Freiermuth, Vele, Dulcich, and Bond. Yeah, got a little shaky down the stretch. You do have a Steelers stack. We mentioned the value of Aaron Rodgers this late, so don't hate it. Pretty strong room. Very heavy stack on Stafford. And then Goff also stacked up. Yeah, this team is complete. Tight end is weird, but this was a weird room at tight end, so it's just the nature of it. But you got in early enough everywhere else. Like, there's really no holes other than tight end. Good team, my man. Good team. We were also drafting with P-Punch. He had CMC and Jeremiah Love out of the 8 slot. Then he went Flowers in the 3rd, Lamar in the 4th. So love the conviction, but have seen it happen many times in the 4th and 5th. But you're drafting with me. I might not have let you have Lamar Jackson. Worth pulling up. I don't hate it at all. Scatterboo, Cortland Sutton. That I'm not that in love with, honestly. Especially the Sutton at 65. A little gross. Ramondre at 80, good value. Jaden Reed, 89. I like that a lot. Brock Purdy, 104. Got a really good value on Brock Purdy. With Kittle, not bad. Shakir at 128 is meh. I prefer McMillan. I went Shuck. I could have easily gone McMillan myself if my receiver room wasn't good. But I prefer McMillan over Shakir myself. Shakir is just such a big floor play. He's not that inspiring, but he's probably fine going there. Probably don't give him enough credit, in all honesty. And then Denzel Boston, 137. That's legit. Andrews with Lamar, very legit. Debo, I think he's a sneaky potential Raven in free agency as well. I love Debo at 161 wherever he goes, but love him with Lamar, actually. That's some sneaky upside. Stowers, Christian Kirk, Braylon Allen, Ted Hurst, Justice Hill, and Jalen Knoll. Love the draft, my man. A little bit odd with Scatterboo, Sutton, Ramondre, just not names I'm usually taking. Sutton, I think, is often there in the 7th round, but if you like him, go for it. I think I would have gone with a rookie, though, over Sutton. And then Scatterboo feels very risky right now with everything to factor in. But a fun team. Receiver, a little bit thin, but love the names overall. As you got your depth, I did like the names that you clicked. So good team P-Punch. Very, very fun. And if Kittle's healthy, he might just be the player you need. But quarterback feels really strong with Lamar and Purdy, and everything feels really, really good. Good team. Seahawks had Amon-Ra, Devon Achane, Josh Allen, Lad McConkey, DeAndre Swift, Brian Thomas. So love the top 6. Feels very balanced, very, very appropriate with Allen at the 33. Wise decision. Metcalf at 81. That's a good price with Herbert. Very legit. Stacked up with Quentin Johnston, Tony Pollard, Jake Ferguson. Jonah Coleman is mid, but 136, not terrible. Keaton Mitchell, Hunter Henry, Calvin Ridley, Trey Tucker, Troy Franklin, and then Kimani Vidal, Ray Davis, Keenan Allen. Fair navigating down the stretch, but really love the way it started, and then quarterback is like really, really strong. The tight end room is shaky, just a little shaky. You passed on Gadsden for Pollard. I might have taken Gadsden, my man, but I get it. Pollard there feels legit. If anything, I'm Jadarian Price over Pollard, but that's just me. I can't really fault any clicks, man. A lot of these are clicks I would have made myself. There's really nothing I can nitpick. So good team. Very good team. And then Buddy Man was at 12. He went James Cook, Ashton Genty, Ted McMillan, Travion with Christian Watson, Drake May. We loved that Drake May selection and really strong running backs. So this team will be fun. Ricky Pearsall, Dobbins, and Blake Corum. So takes the value on Corum and gets strong at running back. Stops at 5, so love that. Jalen Coker is wide receiver 4. McMillan at a good price with Shaheed. Love that. Bryce Young, QB2. Drake May, Bryce Young. But a double stacked Bryce Young. Can't fault that. Brenton Strange, Kate Otten, Trey Harris. Terrence Ferguson, Pat Bryant, Skylar Bell, and Kyle Williams. I'm not taking too much Skylar Bell myself. But the team is legit. 10 receivers total. Can't really fault anything. Maybe another quarterback could have been valuable here. Like, instead of McMillan and Shaheed, maybe I would have just gone Darnold and Shaheed. You know? Maybe I would have just done that. Because Bryce Young as your second without a third is... That's where I'm not loving it. But that's really the only thing I think I can complain about. Otherwise, it's a very smart build. 5 early guys at running back and just stopping makes a ton of sense. 10 receivers in total. Might be a little overkill. Not sure you needed Skylar Bell. Or, you know, like the 10th maybe unnecessary, but legit, very legit team. Very fun team. I respect it, buddy man. Good luck. And then one final reminder on my draft in totality. I pulled up Hampton at 6. We went Neighbors, Olave, Egbuka, and Rome. Caleb and Jordan Tyson. So 6 straight rounds without another running back. Kyle Monungai in the 8th. Baker in the 9th. Price at a really good discount. Jadarian Price in the 10th. Tyler Shuck in the 11th. That felt really nice. Really legit. Travis Kelce in the 12th. Love that price. Brooks in the 13th. I was happy with that. I pulled up Brian Robinson happily in the 14th. Got a little fall on TJ Hawkinson in the 15th. Then I got Tank Bigsby in the 16th. I'm taking that all day long, especially when I need running back. Jeremy Bernard, Colby Parkinson, Elijah Surratt, and then Trevor Etienne. My team's fun. I think that receiver depth will carry me. And then Hampton will just be my guy. Let's go. That's going to be it for me. I will kill the bowl and just catch up with the chat and say goodbye. That one was weak, but like I said, final rip from the pipe. But thank you, Bukowski, for telling it like it is. That's what I try to do. I try to give you my honest take, and I'm definitely going to be wrong about stuff, but I'm at least trying to be as authentic as possible with my opinions. But Hartman tries to stop at 4 tight ends with Bowers. Personally, I'm fine with 2. Like, I think we all agree a team at 1 went overkill with tight ends. But Mike says they might all have the same bye. That'd be funny. That'd be fucking hilarious if all 5 of them are on bye the same week. That would be so funny. Um, Peanut Punch wants me to look at the full construction, not the ADP. We'll give him that. We'll give him that. Lamar, Purdy, CMC, Love, Scattaboo, Ramondre, Braylon, Justice Hill, Flowers, Sutton, Jaden Reed, Shakir, Denzel Boston, Debo, Kirk, Ted Hurst, Jalen Knoll, Kittle, Andrews, and Stowers. Yeah, I still don't love Cortland Sutton as the wide receiver 2 there. At like, yeah, that's the one pick I like very much disagree with. Sutton in the 6th, I don't like. But everything else felt pretty wise and well thought out. I would not have liked Ramondre in the 6th. That's the thing about the 6th round. The 6th round sucks. The 6th round, there's so few good picks. If it's not a quarterback, if it's not Brian Thomas or like one of the running backs that went off in the 5th in this lobby, round 6 fucking sucks, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's my take. If Carnell Tate was there at 65, I would have taken him over Cortland Sutton. Mike, I think you made the right call just stopping at 5. I think that was right. I think Hartman agrees. But Cnox says, let's bring Debo to the Chargers. I wouldn't hate that. That'd be fun. That'd be interesting. He played fantastic against them last year. When he was in LA, he had a really good game. I think Terry was out, but Jaden Daniels was there. The Commanders won, and Debo did torch them, actually. Debo played really well in that one. Had a late touchdown to seal it. But in the bigger tourneys, I think that's wise, P-Punch. Staying a little bit safer and just sticking to your guys. But in the UDFA, get bold, get unique, go for it. But in the 4 out of 12, I don't sweat getting 3 quarterbacks if I have an elite. That's very, very legit. And you consider Drake May in an elite. So thank you for your thoughts. At least with Bryce Young double stacked, you're also like pretty committed to Bryce paying off. So I don't hate it at all. I don't mind it. It makes sense in this contest. Thank you very much, Danimal. Appreciate it. Thank you, Cnox. Thank you, Fancy Dog. Thank you, P-Punch. You're welcome, and thank you, Scott, once again. And then final comment, P-Punch is try not to draft BBMs this year, have 0 finals. Those entries feel really cut into the winnings. I only did 9 BBMs last year. I advanced 3 of them to the playoffs, and then 1 of them finished in 2nd place. The other 2 didn't have a shot. I didn't advance past week 15 with my 3 playoff BBM teams and 9 total. It's a little pricey. I don't blame you, Peanut Punch. $25 a pop. I'll do a few, but I'm definitely not going to max it, and I will keep a reasonable budget. BBM is tempting to fill, but not my favorite contest. I'm not going to lie. The advance rate structure is just so thin to make it. But that's it for me. Appreciate everyone. I'll see you next time. I will probably be back Saturday night. I think we'll be back Saturday in the PM. Definitely a later stream on Saturday. So, all right. Peace out, everyone. Thank y'all.